All right, everybody, we welcome you back live here at Heidkamp Stadium here in Huber Heights, Ohio. Again, week 3 high school football action. The Wayne Warriors getting set to take on the Pickerington Central Tigers, our high school football game of the week 3 action. Justin Kinner alongside former Ohio State Buckeye Keith Byars. And he'll hop on with us coming up here in just a few moments. But a big game atmosphere here as the Warriors and the Tigers getting set to go head-to-head here on 1410 ESPN Radio. Wayne Warriors 1-1 on the season, as is the Pickerington Central Tigers. The Tigers coming off of a tough loss a week ago as they lost 17-7 against Elder. The Tigers are back in action here tonight as they're taking on, of course, Huber Heights Wayne. Again, I'm Justin Kinner alongside Keith Byars, who's making his season debut. First time on the call this season, but I was doing the math earlier, Keith, and I think this is year number 6 for you and I calling action here on Friday nights.
I've been holding out. 6?
6.
Wow.
6 years, and then I was thinking, they moved the season up because I'm like, yeah, Keith, you have a lot of responsibilities, of course. So
I know I wasn't ready. I was doing my Tom Brady impression.
Well, you came back, you looked the exact same as you did before I saw you. So it's
I'm excited.
I don't know what
excited. It's Friday night. It's high school football. Where else you want to be? This is what it's all about, man. I told you, you heard me say it, a few years ago now. One of these days, I'm going to be the old guy. I'm kind of getting up there. I'm going to be the old guy sitting up here in the stands, watching high school football, and somebody's going to come up to me, hey, which one of your kids out there? I'm saying, none of them. I just love watching high school football. And I'm going to be that guy one day. But it's not today. Even though I'm up here sitting high and, watching some football, watching the Wayne Warriors against Pick Central Tigers. I love high school football. I love football. And I'm happy to be here today. I'm excited. I'm fired up. So you listeners at home, I hope to, riding down the street, hope to bring this game into your stereo, into your living room, into your car. And hopefully you're on your way to a game. Make it a mission this year.
If you head to a
Wherever
game,
you have
wait.
any kids playing out, get out and see 5 games. What's a cheap night out, and you still got time to do something after the game. And this when the game is about to kick off, and next 2.5 hours, you can still go to dinner or have fun and enjoy it. But we just kicked the ball off, and here we go.
Ball's fielded at the 15. The Wayne Warriors on the receiving end. Tyrell
Lewis
Lewis
got a chance to turn it
making his way
loose.
up the far sideline. I'm sorry, that's not Tyrell Lewis. That is number 3, and Tion Hunter. Tion Hunter making his way up that right sideline. A nice return, Keith, getting into about that midfield marker, and that's where we'll have a chance to see the Warriors offense for the first time tonight, led by star quarterback Tyrell Lewis. Again, a lot of weapons for Coach Mukes on the offensive side of the ball.
They just seem to be every year reloading, here at Wayne, in the high school level. But the only way you can do that is have a good feeder program. So Wayne has a good, Pee-wee level, that, junior, and they don't have to be called Pee-wees when they're 7th and 8th graders. But they're, the junior high school and a younger level, so it's good football here, in the Wayne area. So expect them come Friday night just to see it. So I love the talent that they have here, and it's all homegrown.
Absolutely. So here we go. Things are off and rolling here. 1st and 10. Ball at the 50, the midfield marker. Of course, Tyrell Lewis drops back, quick release, connects on the pass. The ball is loose. It's an incomplete.
Oh, it's fumble.
They're saying it's a fumble.
Wow.
It was recovered by number 18 for the Warriors and Jackson Solomon. Wow. Jackson Solomon was just whipped around because he picked it up thinking it was a dead ball. Well, the defender for Pickerington Central,
well, this is high school
whipped him
football.
around like a
we don't
rag
have instant replay. So he did make a football move. He just didn't wrap it up, and so it wasn't be alert to get recovered. We ain't get the bay called. It's a no review.
Tyrell Lewis again gets the snap on the 2nd and 3 at the 43. Handoff, nothing really working there. Handoff to the back, trying to get a better view of who the back was that received the carry there. And again, for the Wayne Warriors on the carry was Zachariah Williams. Zachariah Williams, again, a senior, Keith, running back and the linebacker on the defensive side. He's going to get a lot of time today. But, again, I'm excited just for the first chance to get to see some of these guys. R.J. Mukes, again, on the far right. Again, it's 3rd and 3 now. Mukes gets the snap, handoff, squares the shoulders, gets the first down, is taken down, and a fresh set of downs coming the Warriors' way, Keith.
Right, you see which way they ran. They ran toward that big Ohio State recruit, big Josh Padilla. He's, you find him. He's a big right tackle. For the Wayne Warriors. He's committed to Ohio State, like I said. But they not only him, but they got a big offensive line. So we used to call them Oompas when I was in high school. Big run behind them big Oompas. And those guys are big and they're powerful.
1st and 10, ball at the 37. Tyrell Lewis drops back, time to throw. Defender in his face, and he overthrows.
Little high.
That was Destindard was the intended target right there. And again, I said he had time, but right as I said he had time, a gigantic body just ended up right in front of him, and he overthrows a wide open receiver.
Yes.
He wants that.
I mean, they ran a good combination route there. The slot receiver running a corner and the inside running a slant, and it was there. It's just pitching and catching, and the pitching part wasn't there. The catch would have been there. It was catchable, a little high. So Tyrell's got to just calm down.
Yeah, again, Tyrell Lewis last year, he shared the position last year, quarterback. And again, I think this is, that's Mukes on the far left side of the field, opposite end of us.
Jet screen.
Couple yard gain there, but Tyrell Lewis shared the quarterback position last year, Keith, with the snaps. Now he threw for over 1,000 yards and threw for 7 touchdowns. Does have that strong offensive line to work with this year, of course, and a lot of talented wide receivers to throw to. Now his offseason, of course, all the work he put in this offseason, Keith, earned an offer from Louisville. So Tyrell Lewis, only a sophomore, already an offer from Louisville. Those offers will keep coming in.
Oh yeah, they'll keep coming in between now and a year and a half from now. But we're in that little dead zone. We're at the 37-yard line, 3rd and 10. I think it's 2 down territory. You got 2 down. I don't think he's too close to punt.
Lewis rolls out to his right. He's at the 40.
Oh,
he just runs out of
bounds.
Don't take
the loss. Throw it away.
Now, what do you do here, Keith? Because now it's 3rd and they lost a couple yards at the 40.
3rd and 40. I mean, that was 4th and 13. I was thinking maybe try to get half of it back or run. So now you're gonna play the field position game and go in and punt it. Yeah, right. I said it was in that little dead zone, but I was expecting positive yards on that 3rd and 10. Not a 3-yard loss. So now you got to play the field position now. Just try not to punt the ball, in the end zone. Just try to punt it inside the 15, inside the 10.
So now
it would be great if you get it inside the 5.
So now waiting to receive the punt for the Pickerington Central Tigers. He calls the fair catch.
Wayne. They didn't get down there quick enough to down it.
So now that is going to lead to Pick Central making their making their way out onto the field, at least their offense, their first offensive drive here of the night coming up. And it'll be 1st and 10 now for Pick Central and company. And again, we got to see their defense. Defense not bad. Again, they were able to put some pressure on Tyrell Lewis. But I think as the game goes on, I think Wayne's going to get comfortable against that Pick Central defense, which is very solid. They bend, they don't break. Obviously, we just saw that. Now we get a chance to see Pick Central's offense for the first time. Keith, high-scoring offense, but they were held to 7 points last week in a 17-7 loss against Elder. Let's see if they can get their offense going here in the early going.
We'll find out. I mean, I think Wayne kind of stopped their sales on that drive instead of more so what Pick Central did. And we'll see what happens there. A lot of Wayne jerseys around that ball.
Yeah, talking about the Wayne offense, but that Wayne defense right there, they jumped and they swarmed to the ball, and that's going to be a tackle for a couple-yard loss, and now a 2nd down and long coming up.
Yeah, that's if your defense. That's how you want to start the game with a tackle for loss, and they got that a 3-yard loss. I talked about the Wayne Warriors offensive line, but that doggone Pick Central offensive line is pretty solid too.
I'm a little guy, but I was walking up and I was amazed at the size of these kids, and that's what they are, kids on this Pick Central roster. 2nd and 12 now, ball at the 18. And the running back, and that's number Rasheem Byars, who gets the carry up the far right sideline. So they lost 2 on the first play, and then they were able to make up about 8, and they'll need 2 for the first on the 3rd and short coming up.
Yeah, Rasheem Byars got some speed to turn the corner and get outside there.
So now at 3rd.
Byars, is he kidding Simone Byars?
Yes.
Don't be starting rumors, KB.
3rd down now coming up. They need 6 for the first down. 9:11 remaining here in the first quarter. For those of you just tuning in, it's our ESPN Dayton High School Football Game of the Week. The Wayne Warriors, Pickerington Central, the Tigers here, and it's their first offensive drive of the night. It's 3rd and 6. They need 6 for the first, and they have the ball at their own 24. Quarterback
Brandon Mantooth is a big quarterback, number 5, 6'5", and he looks every bit of it.
He's rolling out still. He keeps his eyes downfield. He's hit as he throws, and he throws it out of bounds. That's what you wanted Tyrell Lewis to do for the Warriors the last time they were on offense.
Yeah, don't take that loss.
Yeah. So 4th and 6, we got to see, of course, the Warriors punt on their first offensive drive, and now we'll see, of course, Pick Central. They'll go 3 and out on their opening drive.
Yeah, that's a good defensive stand by Wayne right there. Come out, go 3 and out, give your offense, a chance to get good field position again.
So now 4th and 6, the ball nearly punted.
They didn't call him roughing the punter.
I was looking at the official. The ball is touched, so now they have to dive on it, and they'll have the ball at the 40. That's where Tyrell Lewis and company. That was Mukes, by the way, who dove on the ball, who nearly fumbled it. I'm with you. There was contact made. The official stared down at the punter or at the punter as he was looking at him, kind of like, why didn't you call that? But you know what?
If I pick Central's coach, I'm screaming. At least it's running. It wasn't roughing, but it was running into the kicker. You give me 10 yards or 5 yards or whatever it is and re-kick it.
So 1st and 10, the second offensive drive of the night for Tyrell Lewis and the Wayne Warrior offense. And right now in the backfield.
They got trips left, single back in there. Bubble screen. Oh, my gosh.
Again, just the timing wasn't there. And again, the intended target right there, Keith, that was Tion Hunter.
But it's just a little bit off right now.
So that incompletion right there stops the clock. 8:51 to go here in the first quarter. We are scoreless. Both teams have an offensive drive under their belts. Both teams forced to punt. And now we'll see if the Warriors can kind of get settled in. Tyrell Lewis, very talented quarterback, but he looks, we're not rattled. It's not the right word, but he's not settled in yet.
No, he's a little anxious. He's rushing right now. Slow down and let the game come to you.
Right now, Tyrell Lewis waiting for the snap on the 2nd and 10 from the 40. He drops back, pressure coming his way, rolls out to his right, keeping his eyes down the field, throws on the run, connects, and that's going to be a connection to Mukes. So a nice play, picked up some good yards, but only gained a couple because he was rolled out so far out. But a nice gain, I guess. I mean, it's just a nice way to complete that play.
If I was his coach right now, what I'm seeing out of Tyrell Lewis is that, you're trying to be perfect right now. Stop trying to be perfect. Just sit back and just take what the defense give you. Just let the game come to you. Don't just sit back and relax and throw it.
Ooh, nearly intercepted. He completes the pass, and this just seemed hard.
It depends on where the mark is, but that's going to be a first down or not. I would say that the forward foot is a first down, and the rear foot is a 4th down. Man, it looks like they're moving the chains. That's a first down. Almost was a pick 6.
It was a dangerous throw, but he was able to just whip it in there. Tyrell Lewis.
But he threw it on time and on rhythm. That was the difference.
Last couple throws, he's been able to make some nice throws on the run. That's impressive to see for a sophomore. 1st and 10, ball at the midfield, mark 50. They hand it off to the running back right up the middle, and Zachariah Williams. Williams picks up 3 or 4 on the carry. It's the ball up to about the 47-yard line.
I like to see the wide receivers and DBs get after it on a running play.
Yeah, because you could think that, this play, I'm not touching the ball. I'm not involved. But that's not the case right there.
Yeah, just run it, just beat on you a little bit.
So now that's going to bring up 2nd down. They need 7 for the first, and they'll have the ball now in Pick Central territory, ball at the 47. Tyrell Lewis, along with Zachariah Williams in the backfield, awaits the snap. Gets the snap, drops back. A lot of pressure coming. Steps into the throw. He was hit as he throws, Keith. I mean, they brought the house on that one, but he stepped in.
They brought more than they can block.
Wayne has a good offensive line, but they're being tested. Keith, those are big kids. Those are a bunch of Keith Byars down there.
They're young kids. I mean, look at number 3.
That's what
Tion Hunter. He's sick. No, I'm thinking that number. Got my numbers mixed up. They got the names mixed up. He's 6 foot. 6'2", 160. All the receivers are 6 foot.
7:22 to go, 3rd and 7.
Pressure again. Screen. Great call. Great call.
And that's Zachariah Williams who gets the catch, and it will be about a yard short of the first. This is about where they had to punt the last time. What do you do here, Keith? Well, maybe they were a little further back.
They're close. That 4th down, they seem to go. I would just run it. Just trust my offensive line. The defense had a 3-0, 3-and-out to start the game. I'm just running it. I'm just going to just flat run. Here goes the run.
Going to go right to Williams. Williams squares his shoulders, and he gets the first down. He didn't get a big gain, but he got the 1 yard he needed.
And they ran right behind Joshua Padilla, the Ohio State commit. That was a good decision.
I had someone reach out to me on Facebook say, I think it's pretty ironic you guys chose the Wayne game tonight ahead of, a pretty popular Wayne alum, Marcus Freeman, coming back to town to face your Buckeyes. Technically his Buckeyes, too.
Yes.
Marcus Williams.
He's got a man deep.
Drops back, deep pass.
He's got a man. Oh, my gosh.
Incompletion. Tion Hunter, he's
going to want that one back.
Tion Hunter was able to burn. Tion Hunter's number 3. He was able to burn Rasheem Byars up the far right sideline in a very nice throw to lead him.
He dropped it in the bucket. That's why Louisville offered him so quickly.
And, again, what I loved most about that throw, Keith, was, yes, the accuracy, but he did that with the house coming at him. He had a lot of pressure in his face, and he stepped right in. I do like the toughness of him too, Keith, because he knows he's going to get hit, and that he still steps into these throws. And I think as he's gotten hit more as the game started, he's starting to get a little bit more comfortable as well.
There was a penalty on the play. It would have come back anyway, but you still had to drop pass.
First, so with 6:39 to go here in the first quarter, that penalty was big, Keith, because now they have a first down
First
and
and
they need
forever.
22. Yep. Forever being the 22 that they need. Again, Tyrell Lewis awaits the snap, sends a man in motion, awaits the snap. First and 22, 6:38. Again, the handoff. The back burst through the hole. And that was, again, number 29 and Zachariah Williams, the senior running back. If you want to keep up with some of the scores around the Miami Valley, head to wingam.com, click on the high school football scoreboard, and that's where you'll be able to see updated scores.
I was just about to give you a quick score. Beaver Creek is beating opponents at Dayton Public School. That's 7-0.
Well, Beaver Creek, by the way, they picked up their first win of the season last week. I'm sorry. They didn't pick up a win at all last year, so that's huge for a team that's just trying to get that momentum and get the feel of winning back.
Program back. Yeah.
You can tell that momentum picking up where they left off. Here we go now, 2nd and 16, second and long, under 6 minutes to go. Tyrell Lewis sends a man in motion. Tyrell Lewis faces the pressure. Connects to Mukes. Mukes at the 30.
Outside, get outside.
Pops to the outside, still in bounds. Mukes spins around out of bounds, and he'll be taken out about the 30-yard line, and that's gets him maybe a couple yards short of the first, Keith, but now third and manageable. And now you have to think this is 4-down territory as well.
It's going to be close.
Well, they're not punting it, so, I mean, there's that. It's just a matter of whether or not you want to be aggressive and continue. I like we're seeing on the offense.
As long as they don't have any big losses on this, I think this 4-down territory for sure.
Tyrell Lewis.
Bringing the kicker.
Zachariah Williams. He
got
pops
a guy.
out, steps up, lobs it to the corner of the end zone, and his intended target was Mukes, Keith.
They're not on the same page.
He's gone to Mukes a few
occasions. He thought he was going to run a corner, and Mukes thought he was going to throw it to the post.
Nick on Facebook, a Wayne Warrior fan, of course, he says, run the dang ball. He wants to see, but when you have a weapon like Tyrell Lewis, I understand why you would, that's like when you have a sports car, you don't want to drive the speed limit. You want you want to test the limits a little bit. That's what we're seeing here in the early going. But a timeout out on the field. Good stuff here, folks. We are 5:41. We have 5:41 remaining here up on the clock in the first quarter. We are scoreless. Two of the top teams in the state going head-to-head here tonight at Heidkamp Stadium. It's our ESPN Dayton High School Football Game of the Week, Week 3 action, and we are scoreless. The Wayne Warriors, the Pickerington Central Tigers, 0-0 with 5:41 to go. It'll be 2nd and 10 for Tyrell Lewis and the Wayne Warriors when we come back.
Looking for dippable chicken that's done right? Just stop by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken for the 10-piece strips meal at a great price. You'll get 10 premium chicken tenderloins that are freshly marinated, honey-dipped, hand-breaded, and cooked to crispy perfection, along with 2 of our large sides, 5 fluffy biscuits, and 3 of your favorite dipping sauces. These are the best strips. No bones about it. Make your family and your wallet happy with a 10-piece strips meal, only at Lee's. Famous for chicken.
All right, Justin Kenner, Keith Byars back with you here in Huber Heights for ESPN Dayton's Week 3 High School Football Game of the Week. Both offenses, well, I shouldn't say both, but we've only seen one offensive drive for Pick Central. This is the second offensive drive for the Wayne Warriors. Both teams have yet to put points up on the board, but Tyrell Lewis and the Warriors have the ball deep into Pick Central territory. The handoff, Nick, they must have been listening to him on the Facebook feed, Keith, because they finally ran the ball. But that was a 1st and 10 at the Pick Central 30 for Tyrell Lewis and the Wayne Warrior offense, and a handoff to Williams for little to no gain. And now that's going to set up a 3rd and actually not little to no gain. It was a loss on the play. So that sets up 3rd and 12 now at the Pick Central 32. And Williams in the backfield to the right, of course, to Tyrell Lewis, who awaits the snap. Mukes to his far right, drops back, steps up, tries to avoid the tackle.
They are bringing pressure every play. And so with Wayne is going to have to adjust. They hit him with a screen, but they need to hit him with more screens or shorter passes. But when you live by the sword, you can also die by the sword without a blitz.
The thing I'm noticing is I think the reason we're seeing the Wayne Warriors be so aggressive in the pass game is their receivers are better than the corners for Pick Central. But the problem is he hasn't had the time to throw. But to your point, that's why you're calling for more screens and more, short
get
yardage
the ball
plays.
out of your quarterback's hand. He can't wait long enough to, for you to get deep.
So now it's going to be 4th and 16, and the punt team is out on the field. So the punt.
Did they keep it out of the end zone?
Nice little spiral on that punt. I mean, that punt is nicer than most passes for some quarterbacks. I'm telling you, that's pretty nice. I see Jack Pohl, Channel 2, down there making his way up the sideline. Good to see he's enjoying the high school football season, making his way up and down. But, yes, that's going to be a now possession or the second offensive possession of the night for Pick Central, who they make their way back out onto the field. Gem City Junk wants to know, anyone know if there is a video stream? I am not aware if there's a
Tell them
video
to come
stream.
out and watch the game,
Come
man.
watch the game, but come watch the game. But we appreciate that you're listening on
Thank
1410
you.
ESPN Radio. All right, now 1st and 10 from the 20. Pick Central and their offense back out on the field. And, of course, Mantooth, the quarterback, has plenty of time to throw, Keith. A completely different story for him. Of course, now the pocket collapses. Pressure, he lobs it up. And every time I start to talk about how a quarterback has time, it's like a second later that pocket collapses and they're running for dear life right there. But he did get rid of the ball and avoided the loss on the play, Keith. 2nd and 10 from the 20 coming up for Pick Central and their quarterback, Mantooth. It's an interesting name. Braden Mantooth, the quarterback.
I'm thinking of her Mantooth. You know what I'm thinking of? Anchorman. The Anchorman movie. And one of the characters' name was Mantooth.
Was it really?
Yes.
I like the movie reference, by the way. I was not expecting that.
There you go.
2nd and 10, Mantooth under center. He on the handoff, right up the middle.
No, broke tackle.
I thought the ball was loose.
I
think
did look
he
like
did
a
drop
ball.
it, but I think
Yeah.
I think they recovered. It was another situation we've seen between both teams where a fumble led to a positive
Well, he did
game.
put that ball on the ground. They just bounced right back up to him like a big old rebound.
So now 3rd down, they need 5 for the first, and now they've moved the ball all the way up to the 25-yard line. They need 5 for the first, as we just mentioned. And Mantooth in this offense continuing to try to find their rhythm. Even though the Warriors weren't able to put points up on the board, I still think Coach Mukes feels pretty good about the way that they're moving the ball. I think he's concerned about the pocket, the offensive line right now, just getting faced with a lot of pressure. But we'll see how they respond coming back. And a handoff up the middle. It's enough for the first down. And for the first time, I believe that is the first down for Pick Central's offense here. Maybe a yard short. No, they are moving the chains. By the way, you weren't here last week, and for the first time in years, I saw the chain gang come out to actually measure.
They actually measured if it was the first or not?
I thought of you right away. Another handoff up the middle and on the 1st and 10 from the 30. But with the Trotwood-Fairmont game last week.
Speaking of Trotwood, they're down to Springfield right now, 7-0 in the first quarter.
Jeff Graham, I like the weapons that they have. Obviously, I'm sure. Well, I mean, that's a heck of a schedule to open up with the way that they have. We have Trotwood next week in our Week 4 high school football game of the week as they'll take on Alter.
You know, I'm sitting there looking at the scoreboard. I'm seeing the Lebanon Warriors playing a school called the Anderson Raptors. When I lived in Florida, it was a high school called Boyd Anderson, and I almost said, hey, Boyd Anderson is playing somebody today?
All right, and the carry right up there to about the 38-yard line where he will be taken down. So he's just short of the first, Keith. And what do you do here again that's going to bring up a 4th down coming up with 2:34 to go here?
You know, I think Wayne is doing fine defensively. They haven't given up any big plays yet.
Oh, it's 3rd down.
Pickerington has. I may bring a little pressure, bring one extra guy. But you got to stop the run first, and they're in run formation, but that doesn't mean they can't throw out of it.
All right, now 3rd and 2. They need 2 for the first, of course, and a Mantooth again trying to draw that defensive line for the Warriors off sides, but good discipline by Pick Central to not move on the hard count.
Yeah, they brought a guy.
It's enough for the first down. He takes 3 or 4 defenders for the Warriors to bring down the running back for Pick Central, number 21, and that's Knowledge Gray. They dropped some knowledge on them is what just happened.
Did.
So Knowledge Gray picks up the first down and a fresh set of downs for the Tigers. That is a very cool name.
That is a different name. Very good. It's not like Steel Chambers, though.
That's a very cool name.
That is a cool name.
So 1st and 10 for the Tigers. They have moved the ball all the way up to their 45.
Okay, now it's almost time for Wayne to start bringing some blitzers. Usually between the 40s, you bring most of your blitzers.
Mantooth gets the snap. He fakes the handoff. He calls
fast.
his own number, bolts his way up the middle.
He handed that one off to number 13, Terrence Alexander. That was he's got some wheels on him.
That was a burst.
He's only 5'9", and he got behind those big guys, and they couldn't see him. And he was through the hole in a hurry.
3 yards.
Quick 7.
3 yards short of the first. So it's going to bring up 2nd down now, 2nd and 3. They now have the ball at the 48 of the Wayne Warriors. This is the first time we've seen the Tigers in Wayne territory, albeit still closer to the midfield marker, but we'll see if they can continue to sustain this drive. And a handoff once again back to the speedy running back right there, possibly enough for the first, maybe a yard short.
From those left foot, right foot. Forward foot is a first down, rear foot is a 3rd down, and it's a 3rd down.
Terrence Alexander on the carry, and it was just short. So now the little mass substitutions coming in. They're bringing some bigger bodies up because they know they need one for the first. And we are under a minute to go here in the first quarter. We are scoreless.
Dunbar Wolverines playing Lyman Central. Lyman Seniors, excuse me, and that score 0-0.
That's a team that from my neck of the woods, where I went to high school over in Van Wert. 3rd and 1, ball at the 46.
Oh, he got a hold.
And the ball right up the middle.
He's still running.
And again, some more knowledge.
Knowledge Gray. He's dropping a lot of knowledge tonight.
More knowledge being dropped on the Warrior defense. They needed one for the first, and they went ahead and picked up about 20 more. Yep, so a fresh set of downs to work with. The clock stops. Or the clock continues to tick, I'm sorry. And they move the ball all the way up to the 30.
We're going to get this play in before the quarter ends. 10 seconds go in the quarter.
That might have been the final play of the first quarter, and we are scoreless. 6 seconds, 3 seconds, and that'll be it for quarter number 1. Beautiful Friday night here in Huber Heights. Again, we are live here at Heitkamp Stadium, and we are 1 quarter of play into our ESPN Dayton High School football game of the week. The Wayne Warriors and the Pickerington Central Tigers scoreless after 1 quarter of play. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the Warrior 30 for the Tigers. We've seen the Warriors march into Tiger territory on a few occasions. We'll see if the Tigers can follow through now that they find themselves in Wayne territory. Keith Byars, Justin Kinner will be back with you here in 60 seconds.
Hey, Buckeye fans, as the official wing sponsor of your Ohio State Buckeyes, Roosters is giving away 12 trips for 2 to this year's Buckeye Bowl game. Each trip comes complete with airfare, hotel, gift bag, and 2 tickets to the big game. 1 bowl prize winner will be chosen each week, along with other cool Roosters weekly prizes. So register every week at roosterswings.com. Roosters, a fun casual joint and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Official contest rules at roosterswings.com.
Buckeye fans, the brand new Chicken Wing in Huber Heights is now open and ready to take your tailgate party to the next level. Do you need a large order of wings for your next Buckeye party? Place your order at our drive-thru. No one else can say that. Chicken Wing is fresh, never frozen, and cooked to order. Hand-battered tenders and fresh hand-tossed wings and your choice of delicious sauces. Chicken Wing, 6315 Brent Pike in Huber Heights. Find us on social at Chicken Wing Co., where fresh and flavor come together. Oh yeah, go Bucks!
Justin Kinner, Keith Byars back with you here as we are officially underway in second quarter action. 2nd down now coming up, and they need 4 for the first down, talking about the Pick Central Tiger offense, and 11:35.
It's time for Wayne to take a stance. You're at that no more first downs. If they get a field goal, make them take a longer field goal. And it's time to start bringing some pressure, for the Wayne defense.
So now again, a handoff to number 21, Knowledge Gray. Knowledge Gray, that burst up the middle. I think it's enough for the gets the ball to about the 22, I believe, so a 2-yard gain. So I think he's going to be about 2 yards short of the first, but nonetheless, 11 minutes remaining here. We are scoreless. 1 yard short of the first, Keith, and they have the ball at the Wayne Warrior 21. This is the most impressive.
It's a long one. It's almost 2.
And it is 2.
It's a long
they
one.
Said now they changed it to 3rd and 2 now. Yep. So good eye, by the way. 10:46 to go.
Tonight. I'm cheating.
3rd down. They need 2 for the first. They have the ball at the Warrior 22. Quarterback drops back. He hands it off to number 3, Rasheem Byles, and Byles powers through for the first down and then got selfish with it, picked up about 6 more than what they needed, and the chains continue to move and about to set up a close to a 1st and goal. Nope, it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 16 now, Keith.
Oh, yeah.
So now this is, with Pick Central.
They're eating up clock. They're grinding this out.
Now, when you take this much time off the clock.
But I still think they're going to run the ball.
So Braden Mantooth, the 6'5" senior quarterback, gets the snap out of the shotgun. He hands it off. That's number 13 and Terrence Alexander, who's swallowed up. And finally, a stop. I mean, that's one of the few times we've seen a handoff that didn't result in about 3 or 4 yards on the carry.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they need right now. Your back is almost up against the wall. So now it's like keep them out of the end zone, make them settle for a field goal attempt, and, block that kick. I don't know. We don't know. I haven't seen the kicker yet from Pick Central.
So now
But you don't want to see him unless it's for an extra point. You want to keep him out of the end zone here. Let's see if Wayne is ready to make a stand.
second down now. They need 9 for the first. The ball at the 15. Mantooth lines up under center, sends a man in motion.
Tight formation.
Jalen Francis goes to his left, and they
he's
get
got
the
a
ball.
receiver.
Rolls to the outside. That's number 13 for the Tigers, who threw. That's Terrence Alexander, the running back.
Yeah.
Little trick play there. He got popped, by the way. I don't know if you saw that as he threw.
I did see that.
He got popped. But a good stand right there defensively for the Warriors. That sets up a third down now coming up. They need 9 for the first to extend the drive, or it's going to set up an interesting fourth down. And they'll have to decide whether to go for it on fourth for the score or just take the points with the field goal, depending on what their kicking situation is.
Would you like to bring some pressure here or just play zone defense?
I haven't seen enough in their pass game to really overcommit to it, but I do think put pressure on the quarterback just in case.
Don't let him have all day to throw.
3rd and 9 at the 16. Mantooth awaits the snap, gets the snap, a quick pitch to the outside. That's number 3, and Rasheem Byars. And Byars makes his way up the far left sideline.
No flags? I thought I saw a block in the back, but they just went with a quick sweep.
They took advantage there with Byars, Rasheem Byars. We've seen
Not
Rasheem Byars.
Simone Byars.
There's a couple Byars on this roster, by the way. Rasheem Byars. He's a junior, or a senior, I should say. So that sets up a fourth down now, and of course they bring out the kicking unit.
Let's see what kind of kicker we have here.
So they have to kick about 20 yards out, so just a little over about 22 yards out. The snap, the hold, the kick. The kick is up and through the uprights, and that's going to be the first score of the night. An excellent job by the kicker for Pick Central, as he makes it a 3-0 ball game, and the Warriors trail after a couple possessions into this ball game with 9:22 to go here in the second quarter.
We get these rosters from the school, and sometimes, we just say sometimes it's a misprint. And number 10, the holder for Pick Central, he's the holder receiver, Casey Middledorf. They have him 6'2", 210. I'm like, he's not 6'2". I have to show you.
So now here we go. Now the Pick Central, they lead at 3-0 over the Wayne Warriors, 9:22 to go. The return team going to come out onto the field for the Warriors, and I'm excited to see what Tyrell Lewis started to really settle in. A couple overthrows in that first quarter, in the first possession, and the second possession.
That would have been touchdowns.
Yeah, he started to get hit a little bit, and I guess he got hit.
He had a touchdown pass drop also.
It's like he's kind of getting that touch on the ball and kind of getting settled in a little bit. So I'm excited to see what they do here on this possession. Again, the Warriors trail 3-0 here. Last week, Elder knocked off Pick Central 17-7. And now the Tigers have responded here in a close one with the Warriors. I've called a couple blowouts in weeks 1 and 2. It's nice to have a close ball game here, a low-scoring ball game at that key.
Don't let it hit the ground. Catch it on the fly and hit a hole.
And on the return coming up is Mukes
He's
for the Warriors.
Mukes wide open.
To the 30, the 35, the 40,
it's about
45,
speed
the 50.
now. It's about
in front
speed.
Of him. He's going to get to the 30.
It's about speed. Can he get there? Yes.
Touchdown. I just said I was excited to see Tyrell Lewis in the Wayne Warrior offense. Well, I'm going to have to wait a little longer.
A little while longer.
It
was a sprint once he got to the 50-yard line. What a return.
A 6-3 lead for the Wayne Warriors now after the Mukes kickoff return. An unbelievable return at that, Keith, because once he broke that far right corner, the motor just started going, and there was no one that was going to
almost strike up the band because he's gone.
The kicker didn't even try to catch up with him at that, and they're an extra point away from taking a 7-3 lead here with 9:08 to go in the first half.
I always say every point counts. You can't take these extra points for credit. Can't take them for granted.
So number 69 for the Wayne Warriors awaiting the snap so he can – that's Luke Dalton, the junior. 6-3, the Warriors lead it with 9:08 to go, an extra point away from taking a 7-3 lead. The snap, the hold, the kick, and the extra point is good. And the Wayne Warriors, watch for the cannon, by the way. I always forget about the cannon. Where is the cannon? I got to wait for the cannon. There we go. See, I was prepared this time. It's taken me 6 years to remember that the cannon will take years off my life.
They shot the cannon in pregame, and I wasn't ready.
They got me in there, so I think
I'm
that's
ready now. Thank you.
So there you go. All right, folks, good stuff. We are off and rolling now. The crowd into it finally. The Wayne Warriors, they lead it 7-3 after the huge kickoff return from Mukes to make it 7-3 Warriors, 9:08 to go. The Warriors will kick off. Pick Central will return. Actually, we'll go ahead and keep it here as both teams make their way out onto the field. Don't want to miss the action. As we just saw, now the game's starting to kind of pick up a little bit. Obviously, the field goal from the Tigers, the kickoff return from the Warriors. Warriors will kick off, and the only problem with that is that was a long drive for Pick Central that kind of wore down the defense. You almost wonder if that kick return kind of works against them a little bit just because that defense could be tired. Yeah.
Huh? Yes, you.
The defense didn't get a long rest. And remember, that was a grueling drive by Pick Central. Now, luckily, they were able to hold them to a field goal, but that did take a lot out of them. Short rest. Mukes with the 80-yard kickoff return for the score. It's 7-3 Warriors. And now the Warriors getting set to kick off, and that's number 69, Luke Dalton, the junior, on the kickoff from the 40, and the ball is up.
Are we going to have back-to-back kickoff returns?
We'll find out.
That happens every once in a while.
It's number 14 on the return, Isaiah Harper.
Got a chance.
Harper's going to be taken down about the 38-yard line, and that's where we will see Braden Mantooth, the quarterback for the Tigers, come back onto the field. This will be their third offensive possession of the night, Keith.
Yes, they are. I mean, they're 50% so far. First time went 3 and out. Next time they had a long drive that ended in a field goal.
All right, so here we go now. 7-3, 9:03 to go now. And we'll see the offense come back out onto the field for the Tigers. And a break here, Keith, because a penalty against Pick Central, personal foul, 15-yard penalty. They got the ball to the 40, so now they get to bring the ball all the way back. It's about what, the 25?
Yeah. It must have been a clip of black in the back or something.
So again, a couple breaks here for the Warriors again, because that would have been nice field position to start.
Now it's just regular field position on the 25-yard line.
So
Wayne has a new field. You know, the Warrior they had logo wasn't there at the 25-yard line.
Oh, with that, yes, I see what you're saying.
New.
Yep. Our Mantooth drops back
in the same
first
area.
and 10.
Oh,
it's nearly picked
oh.
off. So it was a 1st and 10 from the 25, and Mantooth stepped into the throw, and the ball was deflected at about the 34-yard line. I can't see
broken up by a Wayne player. They broke each other's player. No, I was saying moving forward. Look at number 10. I'm not trying to pick on anybody. You know, but Casey Middlecoff for Pick Central, they have him listed as 6'2".
Yeah, you said number who?
Number 10. He's in the slot to the left.
And that's,
no, I'm sorry. Is that maybe slot down here at the bottom?
Yes. Yes.
It's not 6'2". It's not 6'2".
2nd and 10 now.
You know, it's a typo. Nice kid. He's playing his heart out. I'm not trying to pick on anybody. He's a nice kid. It's a typo that I'm talking about.
Rasheem Byars on the carry, Keith. Not a whole lot cooking there.
No, not quite. Not quite. I remember one time in high school, I was 6'4" in the program. I'm like, oh, thank you, but I'm not that.
Well, I remember in high school for me, I was on the basketball team, and I say that exactly how it sounds. I was on the team.
He was on the team.
I'm 5'5", but my coach always listed me as 5'8", 5'9". And I said, why do you do that? He goes, well, I can't give you playing time, so I might as well at least give you a couple inches of height on the roster. So I was like, thanks,
Let's
Coach.
get in the program. So he looked at the 6'2". Okay.
All right, here
when I played high school football and they beat me down, I used to be taller when I was in high school.
Mantooth rolling out to his left.
Oh, good tackle.
Down, and that's a big-time sack again on the 3rd and 7. Ball from the 28, and on the rundown was number 45, Achilles Gordon.
Way to stay at home, young man.
6'4".
Fight in on the
6'4", 210-pound defensive lineman. He turned on the speed there. So a much better defensive possession here for the Warriors, where at no point did Pick Central look comfortable. And I think they kind of got rattled. They had that nice return to about the 40, the personal foul that brought them back to the 25, and that kind of took the momentum away. 4th and 16.
Dukes was looking for another return this time. He's returned the kickoff. But they're not going to give him a chance. They kicked it away from him.
The punt will make a friendly roll to about the 36, 37-yard line, and that's where we will see Tyrell Lewis and the Warriors take over. It's 7-3. Warriors lead at 7:29 to go here in the first half. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. Okay, easy now. You're teaching your kid how to parallel park. Ouch! Turns out he likes to do it by feel. Don't worry, eBay Motors has bumpers, taillights, trunk lids, license plate holders, 122 million parts. Pull up just a little bit. and headlights. They've got lots of headlights. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Justin Kinner, Keith Byars back with you here on 1410 ESPN Radio. We come at you back live here in the middle of the action. Our ESPN Dayton High School football game of the week, week 3, the Wayne Warriors, the Pickerington Central Tigers, and the Wayne Warriors lead at 7-3 after an 80-yard kickoff return from senior R.J. Mukes. And that has given the Warriors all the momentum that they need. And, of course, the Warrior defense responded with forcing a 3-and-out, Keith. And now Tyrell Lewis on the 2nd and 10 here. The Warriors trying to pick up where they left off. Tyrell Lewis gets the snap, drops back, a lot of pressure, rolling up to his left. Nothing cooking downtown, keeps his eyes. There is a penalty. Throws on the run. It's deflected. And that was number 15 on the deflection.
Holding. Bring it back.
Yeah, the problem is with not having any receivers open down the field, he's rolling out to his right or left. Plays are breaking down, and the longer plays go on, as you know, you're more susceptible to holding calls, and that's what's happening.
Sometimes the referees think we come to see them. We know you got a nice microphone on your hip. You don't have to let us hear it all the time. Let the kids play.
So now here we go. That's going to be bring up 3rd down now, and again they lost a good chunk on that one. 7:18 to go, 7-3. The Warriors lead it. It's going to be 2nd and long now coming up for Tyrell Lewis. Got to be careful here. You don't want to make it all up in one play, but they have been going for the home run ball for the majority of this first half.
Let's see if they bring pressure here. They play it safe.
Tyrell Lewis steps into the throw and nearly picked off his intended target. Getting real happy with R.J. Mukes, trying to force it in there. Good zip on the ball, but didn't have the accuracy on it.
Yeah, it's just a little time. I mean, he's read the defense. Don't make your mind up. I'm throwing the ball to my buddy here. Read the defense. Take what the defense gives you.
3rd and 26 now coming up. 3rd and long, very long. Again, they have the ball at the 20. Tyrell Lewis and the Warrior offense, they have the ball at their 20, and they need 26 for the first down. A 3rd and long coming up. 7:13 to go. The Warriors lead at 7-3. And again, Tyrell Lewis drops back, screen pass, connects right there to Hunter. Hunter still on his feet. It's going to take 4 defenders to take him down.
Oh, it is a face mask. That'd be a first down now.
And the laundry is thrown, correct? Yes.
Yeah, I saw that face mask.
And you saw the face mask way up here. That was happening in front of the official, and it took him forever before he decided to throw it. But nonetheless,
that's a backbreaker for Pick Central. He's been off the field. Now you give him a first down.
It was 3rd and 26, and they were able to get the ball.
Well, that's automatic first down when you grab a face mask.
And they were able to pick up about 16 yards on that play to get almost back to the original line of scrimmage, and then you add the penalty on top of it. And now that's a big recovery right there for the Warriors, as they might be able to extend this drive here. So they repeat the 3rd down, Keith, and now it's 3rd and manageable, and now you've kind of come out of your own territory a little bit more. Now you might get a little creative depending on what you pick up here. It's going to be 3rd and 5, I believe. Ball at the
3rd and about 7.
Yeah, ball at the 37-yard line. 3rd and 7. 6:47 to go. 3rd and 7 now. Tyrell Lewis awaits the snap, running back to his right. Gets the snap, drops back, quick release. That's what you were calling for earlier. And, of course, he connects with R.J. Mukes, gets to that far right sideline, gets to the 40. He's going to be pushed out of bounds. And just like that, in 2 plays, Keith, thanks to a penalty as well. It was 3rd and long, 3rd and 26 to be exact. And now they get the ball all the way to the opposite end, to about the 30-yard line. And
I think the referees kind of messed that up.
Yeah.
It was 3rd and long. You call a penalty, and then you add 5 yards to it and still make it 3rd down. No, it's 4th down.
I think that's one reason they got that play off as quick as they did before they could challenge it.
They give him the 5th down. You can't give both ways. Especially the automatic first down. It should have been with the penalty. But nevertheless, it's a moot point. Here we go.
1st and 10, rolling out to
his
his right.
He's got a man deep.
Has Mukes.
Oh, he just threw it away, though.
Mukes was being guarded on the outside by Derek Grimes, Keith. And Derek Grimes had him covered well, at least from an angle standpoint. But, again, he was trying to lob the throw to him. I'm looking at over at the scoreboard, by the way. The Troy Trojans trail Piqua 31-0. Piqua, Keith, they have been on a run the last 2 years. I mean, their run game last year was dominant. They lose a couple of their key guys. I've been very impressed. We haven't done a Piqua game in a few years, but Piqua, they deserve a lot of attention. Yeah, they look really good this year. I see they're at 31-0 right now. Yeah. Springfield up 21-0 over Trotwood.
Xenia made the playoffs last year, and they're winning 26-0 right now with Fairborn. I'm shocked.
2nd and 10 now. Tyrell Lewis drops back. No pressure yet. Keeps his eyes down the field. Now he has the pressure. Throws on the run. Connects. That's number 19 and Portis. And Portis gets taken down at about the 20-yard line, Keith. Very impressive drive.
That was very patient.
And you can see when Tyrell has time to throw, much different looking quarterback.
That's why Pickerington been bringing a lot of pressure, because they don't feel they can't cover him if we just play coverage.
First and 10.
So we got to get the ball out of the quarterback's hand in a hurry.
That's
a run. That's a run. Oh!
Zachariah Williams gets the handoff from Tyrell Lewis from the 20-yard line, and Williams does the rest of the work, taking the ball all the way to the 5-yard line. A nice 15-yard burst.
Wayne is playing Pickerington Central. I know we are listeners out here. We want to let them. Pickerington Central is in Columbus, in case you're like, what school is that around Dayton? So they're out of Columbus.
One of the top teams out of Columbus as well. First and goal coming up. And there's a timeout out on the field.
They probably wish they had their safety back from last year, but he's at the Ohio State University, Sonny Styles, one of the top recruited safeties last year in the country, certainly top 5, and he's at Ohio State now. And, they need somebody to fill his void.
Absolutely. How about that tomorrow? By the way, we'll go ahead and keep it here. Timeout out on the field. 6:04 remaining. The Wayne Warriors lead at 7-3, and right now it's a first and goal. First, they have the ball at the 7-yard line. Warriors about to potentially punch their, punch it in the end zone for their first offensive score of the night. The 7 points up on the board for the Warriors came in a big 80-yard kickoff return from Mukes a little bit ago. See what they do offensively coming out.
Because offensively, they haven't scored.
Yeah.
So Pickerington defense has been bending, but they haven't broken them.
So with that in mind, so tomorrow, by the way, the Ohio State Buckeyes kick off their season. And
I can't wait. I'm fired up. I feel good.
Wayne Warrior alum, of course, Marcus Freeman, head coach in Notre Dame, also a former Buckeye. There's a lot of conflict. You know that conflict of interest line. There's a lot of conflict of interest here. You don't know who to root. I mean, we know who to root for, but you almost
know who to root for.
Easy. I know. I'm sorry. I didn't even mean to allude that I was.
Know who to root for.
First and 7 now coming out of the timeout. First and goal, but they need 7 for the score here. 6:04 to go, and we see Zachariah Williams in the backfield, along with, of course, Tyrell Lewis, who awaits the snap here.
I think they're going to run it in from here. They got the pass look, but I think they're going to run it in.
Fake handoff, rolls out to his left, trying to go for Hunter. Hunter is heavily guarded. Again, Tyrell Lewis keeps it alive. He backs all the way to the 20, and he throws it away, and that's what you were calling for earlier. No flag. So where we're sitting, Keith, the Pick Central coaching staff, we can hear them up in the booth, and they were yelling penalty. Why would they be yelling penalty there? Because they're the only ones that are seeing something that we aren't.
Because they said the ball did not go past the line of scrimmage, and that would be a penalty. He's throwing the ball away. He should have thrown it away. He's running to his right, throw it away, behind the line of scrimmage. So I don't think the ball went past the line of scrimmage, what they're calling. It's kind of borderline, but we'll see. The refs are confirmed, and there's a flag. He was running to the right, just throw it away to the right. He grounded the ball.
So they did call it. So
that was the right call.
The screaming from the booth next to us, it was valid. They had a point, I guess. So that's crucial. So we've seen penalties that the penalties.
So that's a loss of down.
Yeah, and it was, by the way, it was 3rd and 26 deep into Wayne territory. And they had about a 16-yard gain that was followed up with a penalty that, again, got them to set a position to get the first down. They extend the drive all the way into Pick Central territory. They had the ball at the Pick Central 7, and now this penalty has backed them all the way up, Keith, to the 30 right now? I mean, that's a crucial penalty right there, a harmful one at that.
Yes, it was.
The 30 is about the 28-yard line.
Yeah, they got to get something, at least try to get a field goal attempt out of this.
Second and long, 5:53 to go. Tyrell Lewis along with Williams in the backfield to his right. He drops back. Williams pops up to block, steps into his throw.
Oh,
nearly picked it off. Was the defense there for Pick Central, but wide open behind him, Keith, was number 7 and Kamari Smith.
He wasn't really wide open.
He was wide open after the defender bailed the ball.
Off. He kind of peeled off.
But nonetheless, it's an incompletion. The clock stops, and what was once looking like a promising scoring drive and a touchdown at that, it was first and goal at the 7, and now it's 3rd and 28 from the 28. So, my, how things have changed in a hurry. The Wayne parents below us not happy right now with a series of events that have transpired that has now set up a very interesting decision here.
Oh, they better help him get this play off. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second.
And a timeout. Game. Coach Mukes having to call timeout.
Yeah, it's about to be 3rd and 33.
So timeout out on the field. We're going to take a timeout ourselves. It's 7-3. Wayne Warriors with the lead. 5:48 to go here in the first half. And the Wayne Warriors have the ball at the Pick Central 28-yard line. Now, they may sound good, but they had the ball at the Pick Central 7. Penalties have derailed this drive. It'll be 3rd and 28 for the Warriors when we come back.
Everyday values are at only one place, Frickers. Monday, boneless frickin' chicken wings. Tuesday, traditional frickin' chicken wings. Wednesday is all about that steak. Thursday, frickin' chicken chunks. Frickers, where kids 10 and under eat free every day. Remember draft beer specials, everyday values, and kids eat free every day. The home for money-saving value is the home for fun, food, sports, and spirits, Frickers.
Watch that tonight.
Justin Kidder, Keith Byars back with you here on 1410 ESPN Radio. What is that on, by the way?
HBO Max.
Keith distracted by the king. Mr. Elvis. 3rd and 28 now. Again, Tyrell Lewis sends a man in motion. Handoff.
There's the pressure. He's got a chance.
And he bursts through. And again, this is by Zachariah Williams. Williams, by the way, when he had that little room for a burst right there, it looked like he was maybe trying to sneak out to the outside where he would have been able to flip that switch even more. But
I think the parents are calling. They should have called that play on 2nd down.
What do you do here? I don't know what their kicking situation is like, but I would like to think, well, I mean, it's, I guess, a touchdown or nothing at this point. So 4th and 20, and they're bringing out the kicking unit, Keith. And we've seen the Tigers field goal team put up 3 on the board, and the Warriors looking to make it a
it's a 37-yard field goal.
And again, this is
number 69.
Luke Dalton awaiting
Come
the
on,
snap of the hole.
High snap. Kick is up. Kick is blocked.
Ball's loose. And special teams, nice blocked field goal right there. And that's kind of what Pick Central was looking for as far as momentum-wise goes. But I don't know if Pick Central stopped. I feel like, you know, Pick Central was well on their way to stopping Wayne. Then Pick Central stopped themselves from stopping Wayne. And then Wayne was on the way to scoring. And then Wayne stopped themselves. I don't know if anyone stopped anyone there. It's just a lot of mental errors on that drive for
Wayne
both teams.
Wayne is making a ton of mistakes offensively.
Yep.
You know, save for that, kickoff return, you haven't really done much. They're moving the ball, but they're shooting, they're missing opportunities.
So now that is going to set up 1st and 10 for, of course, Braden Mantooth and the Tiger offense. And it'll be 1st and 10 from the 25 with 5:05 to go. And what could have been a 10-7 or 10-3 lead for the Warriors is still 7-3. Mantooth sends a man in motion. Nice little pitch inside, pops out to the outside. Good defense by the Warriors, who sniffed it out the whole way. Tackle for a loss.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what kind of motion they was doing. The guy back doing moonwalking. He didn't not no threat to run down the field. Well, I mean, I haven't made reference to the crowd attendance today. It's like I said, get out and watch high school football. And the Wayne is well represented. Their seats are pretty full stadium. And you look over, at Pickerington out of Columbus, they've traveled well. I see a bunch of buses over there. They brought their band, and the parents are there to support the game. So high school football is in full effect here Friday night at Wayne Stadium.
It was 2nd and 11, and the handoff up the middle, about a 4-yard gain. The ball was at the Pick Central 24, and again, they're just methodically just kind of picking up 3-4 yards on each carry. Again, they haven't had any explosive offensive plays here today, Keith. They've just picked up short yardage. They've methodically moved the ball down the field. It hasn't been sexy, but they look up at the board. Their defense has done the job. Warriors haven't put an offensive point up on the board yet.
No, they have not. And I think what you just said, we're about to see a big play, Justin. You seem to have that way of calling these plays. So I see a big play coming in the next 2 or 3 plays. Let's see what happens.
3rd and 6 at the 29, and the handoff. And again, that's Rasheed Miles.
He's grinding it out. It's a nice 5-yard run. So they're bringing in they're bringing on the punt team. Well, they're bringing the jumbos in. They're going for it. They're bringing the big boys in.
And they're a little hurry up on the offense.
And they're snapping it. Here they go.
Yep, and again, they're going to go right back to number 23, and that's Kendrick Mensah.
The coach made a decision for Pickerington that we're going for it right no
Terrence
matter
Alexander, sorry. But, yeah.
So you go for it on minus territory, short yardage situation. And they already had that play already locked and loaded, ready to go.
1st and 10, 3:29 remaining here in the first half. Pick Central trails 7-3. The Warriors only points up on the board, an 80-yard kickoff return from, of course, star R.J. Mukes, but nothing cooking offensively for the Warriors, although they have moved the ball real well.
Yeah, the empty backfield is a good quarterback keeper. Or is he going to pass it?
Mantooth gets the snap. Empty backfield, as you talked about. Has time, rolls out to his right, keeps his eyes down the
Got
field,
him
throws
in.
on the run, and he connects. And that's number 4 in the receiving end, and Derek Grimes. It was a long pass, connected, but it wasn't a big gain, as, of course, he was forced out, flushed out to roll to his right. So now that's going to bring up second down.
They got to, start to move a little faster. We're just under 3 minutes, 2 minutes and 47 seconds. So they got to. Yeah, I said about 6 or 7 plays. So this is like play 3 since you made that comment about a big play out of this team, and so we'll see.
I was putting that mojo out there. Second down and 5. Ball at the 43. Mantooth lines up under center. Delayed handoff, and he burst for the first down.
There's a 10-yard run right there.
That's number 21, Knowledge Gray.
They got a drive going here officially now. They got their the coaches are getting the play called. They got guys running in and out of the huddle. They seem to be what they want. Now they have 2 timeouts left. Plus the clock stops with the first down. So if I'm Wayne, no big plays. Let them keep trying to grind it out.
2:09 remaining here in the first half. 1st and 10 at the midfield line, 49-yard line marker. Again, Mantooth sends a man in motion.
Well,
Keeps his eyes down the field, flushed out. He tucks it and rolls to the sideline, and Laundry's thrown. Mantooth is a big quarterback. He's 6'5", 190 pounds.
He's every bit of it.
We'll have a tonight in high school football halftime show with Skip Mossick coming up here in about 1:57 remaining here after the first half. Of course, we'll hear from Skip Mossick. And a holding penalty. We haven't seen many penalties against Pick Central tonight, but that's a costly one right there. Is nice little drive they have going, but penalties have really kind of hurt both teams in crucial moments of impressive drives that have kind of stalled them a little bit. So now what was 1st and 10 is now going to set up 1st and long coming up? Yeah, it's going to be 1st and 26.
1st and forever.
1:57 remaining. And now the thing is, we haven't seen this Tiger offense pick up big, large chunk plays. So although they have 3 downs technically to pick up 26 yards, it's going to be tough to do.
We haven't seen a turnover.
Yeah.
We've
seen near
both teams have
turnovers.
been close. So I'm putting the turnover out there into the atmosphere. There's a nice straight handoff to Knowledge Gray.
Knowledge Gray still moving the pile a little bit. I mean, the ball was at the 35-yard line. He got to about 46, 47. Nice little pickup.
I mean, Wayne, do you save your one timeout or just try to play it out right now? You see what happens here on 2nd down.
All right, now 2nd and 18. 1:27 to go here in the first half. Braden Mantooth, the running back to his left. Again, in the shot awaiting the snap. And again, that's number 3 and Rasheem Byars. He rolls out to his left, keeps his eyes on Byars, and Byars was not anticipating the throw.
Is that a lateral? The referees kind of looked at it.
And they're saying to pick it. The coaches are.
Yeah, is that a lateral?
They're saying to go. The coaches are telling him to go.
Yeah.
So
there's no whistle. It was just.
It was 3rd and 18 from the 43. Mantooth rolled out. He had Byars to his left.
Backward.
As the defender,
that was a lateral. I thought that was a free.
As the defender approached, the linebacker approached Mantooth. He just kind of pitched it out to Grimes or
and the ball
Byars,
didn't go out of bounds,
and it hit his arm and fell in bounds. And the coaching staff for the Warriors were yelling, "Pick it up
Scoop
and go!"
Score.
A little confusion there, but 3rd and 18 now. Ball at the 43. 1:12 to go.
I don't think they're going to run that play anymore tonight.
No, Mantooth, he will pitch to the outside.
He's left-handed guy. He's looking to throw it.
Yep, that's
He's
number
looking
13.
to throw it.
And Alexander, but 3 big defenders for the Warriors come swallowing him up there, and that's going to bring up 4th and long and a timeout by the Warriors as the punt team comes out.
Take that timeout. You're going to get the ball back with a little less than a minute. Give your return team a chance.
So that's going to bring 4th and 18 on the other side. We have about 1:02 remaining here in the first half. It's a 7-3 Warrior lead. It'll be Pick Central football coming out of the timeout on 4th and 21. The Warriors will receive the punt. And we'll see if the Warrior offense could put some points up on the board in the final 62 seconds. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken is excited to announce their new delicious spicy bourbon chicken sandwich is here. It's the best of both worlds. Their spicy bourbon dippers that you love brought into a sandwich you'll crave. It's made with their famous spicy chicken sandwich, smothered in their special bourbon barbecue sauce, dripping with flavor on a brioche bun. Enjoy it in a combo with your favorite side and a drink, priced just right at only $6.99 and only available at Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken Miami Valley locations. Lee's, famous for spicy bourbon chicken.
Lining up to receive the punt for the Wayne Warriors at the Warrior 30 is, of course, R.J. Bukes, who's responsible for the only points up on the board for the Warriors tonight. It's a 7-3 Warriors lead with 1:02 remaining here in the first half. Let's see if Bukes has some more action up his sleeve, of course, as the offense, although they've been able to pick up a lot of yards tonight. And the punt is blocked, and the ball is still loose. And, of course,
they're going to get
Tigers are going to down, yes. So a very good situation developing here. Actually, we've seen quite a few good situations that the Warriors have found themselves in. They just haven't been able to capitalize, Keith. It was 1st and 7. It was 1st and goal at the 7. All they needed to do was a fresh full set of downs to work with to punch it in, and penalties had them all the way backed up. So now they'll have the ball at the 47?
Yeah, 47
with 54 seconds remaining. And I think they're out of timeouts. The Tigers have 2 timeouts remaining. The Warriors out of timeouts. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Tyrell Lewis. And, of course, he'll have Zachariah Williams with him in the backfield on his right hip.
54 seconds to go.
Sends a man in motion.
The clock will stop on the first down.
Tyrell Lewis drops back, keeps his eyes locked on the field, steps into a throw. His target is Mukes wide. Oh, no, it's intercepted.
They let it hang up there a little too long.
So Mukes absolutely torched the secondary, but the ball was underthrown, and Mukes has to be kicking himself right now because, he burned the secondary. And, of course, Tyrell Lewis just didn't get enough under it.
But it was an interception. It's toward the end of the half. It's 40, at Pickerington, they have 2 timeouts, but they're backed up on the 3-yard line, 2.5, 3-yard line.
So now that's going to bring out the Pick Central offense again. And interestingly enough, it was a nice interception, a great stop, but now all of a sudden it's kind of no man's land right here. If you're Wayne, you probably bring the pressure here, of course, as we've yet to see really Braden Mantooth get anything going in the pass game. So I expect a couple handoffs here as they try to run their way out of the danger zone
Wayne
here.
Can't stop the clock anymore.
Yep. No more timeouts.
Tight formation. Maybe just a quarterback sneak. I wouldn't even reach by handing it in the backfield.
Mantooth awaiting the snap. He's under center. Of course, Mantooth turns, hands it off, and they move the pile from about the 2-yard line to about the 6-yard line, and that kind of gives them a little bit more breathing room, Keith.
Yeah, they've got time for maybe one more play, take a knee, and let's go to halftime.
Absolutely. Do you get the feeling, although the Wayne Warriors lead at 7-3, it's almost like the confidence seems to be on, or the momentum and the confidence seems to be on the side more of Pick Central right now. They trail 7-3, and I feel like they lead this, even though it's 7-3 Warriors right now.
I know what you're saying. It does kind of have that feel, but we always talk about on Friday nights, especially momentum. Momentum just wants to get on your sideline and ride. So you have it, keep it. If you don't have it, go get it. And momentum is standing at the 50-yard line. Which side do I go? Which way do I go? Nobody has it.
So here we go now. After 2 quarters of play, one of the more unique games that we've witnessed. And there's been a lot of action. There's been a lot of, both teams have picked up a lot of yards on the offensive side of the ball, but only 10 combined points up on the board, Keith. It's halftime. The Wayne Warriors lead at 7-3 over the Pick Central Tigers, and both teams making their way towards their locker rooms. The band getting set to come out. Love the band, by the way, and really excited for this as always. But that wraps it up for us here in the first half action. We now send it back to the WING studios where Brandon Williams is holding it down. It's time for our Tonight in High School Football halftime report with Skip Mossick. And then, of course, we'll have second half action, first half recaps coming up. It's our ESPN Dayton High School Football Game of the Week. The Wayne Warriors lead at 7-3 over the Pickerington Central Tigers at the half.
Hey, Buckeye fans, as the official wing sponsor of your Ohio State Buckeyes, Roosters is giving away 12 trips for 2 to this year's Buckeye Bowl game. Each trip comes complete with airfare, hotel, gift bag, and 2 tickets to the big game. One bowl prize winner chosen each week, along with other cool Roosters weekly prizes. So register every week at roosterswings.com. Roosters, a fun, casual joint, and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Official contest rules at roosterswings.com.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. So you have to drive 300 miles to your cousin's wedding. Okay, so it's his fourth. But you know what they say, fourth time's the charm. Well, here's the problem. Your tires are as bald as I am. But lucky for you, eBay Motors has tires for just about every make and model. Plus wheels, lug nuts, jack stands, and more. 122 million parts. Do they have tissues? Oh, good, because I'm definitely a crier. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Are you one of those people who thinks it's okay to drive stoned? I mean, what's the worst that can happen? You end up driving below the speed limit? It's no big deal, right? Wrong. The truth is, your reaction times slow way down when you're high. You not only put yourself in danger, but everyone around you. Talk about a buzzkill. Stop kidding yourself. It's not okay to drive high. If you've been using marijuana in any form, do not get behind the wheel. If you feel different, you drive different. Drive high, get a DUI. Paid for by NHTSA.
Everyday values are at only one place, Frickers. Monday, boneless frickin' chicken wings. Tuesday, traditional frickin' chicken wings. Wednesday is all about that steak. Thursday, frickin' chicken chunks. Frickers, where kids 10 and under eat free every day. Remember draft beer specials, everyday values, and kids eat free every day. The home for money-saving value is the home for fun, food, sports, and spirits, Frickers.
The Labor Day event from Dell Technologies is here. End the summer strong by starting up a new season of productivity. Your business upgrade begins with up to 48% off top-rated laptops, like Vostro, taking performance to the next level with 12th Gen Intel Core processors. It's time to push your growing business even further. What's next for you? Upgrade today by calling 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
You could save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, but when we just come out and say it, it feels like it falls a bit flat. So instead, we're going to hire a professional voice actor and pay him absurd amounts of money to say,
I like this product.
Not sure why that was better. I mean, I'm a professional too, but we didn't pay him to say the business part, so back to me. Save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive. Sorry, I know hearing me say it was a bit of a letdown. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discount not available in all states or situations.
If you need new roofing, siding, or gutters, skylights, or patio enclosures, if you're a homeowner or business and need someone you can trust, don't take a chance. Enhance with Lance. Lance Roofing and Siding in Fairborn has been satisfying customers since 1993 and hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Lance Roofing and Siding, 8460 Dayton Springfield Road in Fairborn. Call for a free estimate at 864-2722. That's 864-2722 or online at lanceroofing.com.
Buckeye fans, the brand new Chicken Wing in Huber Heights is now open and ready to take your tailgate party to the next level. Do you need a large order of wings for your next Buckeye party? Place your order at our drive-thru. No one else can say that. Chicken Wing is fresh, never frozen, and cooked to order. Hand-battered tenders and fresh hand-tossed wings and your choice of delicious sauces. Chicken Wing, 6315 Brent Pike in Huber Heights. Find us on social at Chicken Wing Co., where fresh and flavor come together. Oh yeah, go Bucks!
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. Okay, easy now. You're teaching your kid how to parallel park. Ouch! Turns out he likes to do it by feel. Don't worry, eBay Motors has bumpers, taillights, trunk lids, license plate holders, 122 million parts. Pull up just a little bit. And headlights. They've got lots of headlights. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
I wanted to know why some people who get COVID-19 get it so bad. I found out it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, smoking, and asthma. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, there are things you can do, like asking your healthcare provider if an authorized oral treatment is right for you. Learn about an option at treatcovid19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
If you need new roofing, siding, or gutters, skylights, or patio enclosures, if you're a homeowner or business and need someone you can trust, don't take a chance. Enhance with Lance. Lance Roofing and Siding in Fairborn has been satisfying customers since 1993 and hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Lance Roofing and Siding, 8460 Dayton Springfield Road in Fairborn. Call for a free estimate at 864-2722. That's 864-2722. 22 or online at lanceroofing.com.
The Labor Day event from Dell Technologies is here. End the summer strong by starting up a new season of productivity. Your business upgrade begins with up to 48% off top-rated laptops, like Vostro, taking performance to the next level with 12th Gen Intel Core processors. It's time to push your growing business even further. What's next for you? Upgrade today by calling 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
You could save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, but when we just come out and say it, it feels like it falls a bit flat. So we're going to use humor. But we don't want to insult your intelligence, so nothing too goofy. And we need to avoid any polarizing topics. Oh, and it has to be about how you can save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive. You know what? Maybe humor is a bad idea. Yeah, it's never going to work. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discount not available in all states or situations.
When your roommate borrows your car every day, it might be a blind spot. Even having people over to jump around on your trampoline. Yep, it also might be a blind spot. Blind spots are all the surprising things that might need more coverage that you weren't aware of. Good thing Allstate agents can help you find those blind spots while watching out for your wallet.
Call me, Dave Mowdy, at 325-2474. That's 325-2474. Right across the street from Frisch's on East Main Street in Springfield. Based on coverage selected, savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability.
From the Ohio News Network, this is the Ohio Education Association Tonight in High School Football. Named Best Sports Program in the Country by the National Association of State Radio Networks. Tonight in High School Football is presented by Beck's Hybrids. Now here's your host, Skip Mossick.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Tonight in High School Football's halftime reports here on the Ohio News Network. As we love to do from time to time, we'll visit various parts of the state and talk some high school football in that area. Tonight we'll hit the southeast corner and chat with Chris Worf, who's done games forever on our Marietta and McConnellsville stations. Chris joins us next on the Ohio News Network.
I'm Scott Demaro, president of the Ohio Education Association, and on behalf of the OEA's 120,000 members, we're proud to bring you tonight's game. OEA members teach in Ohio's public schools and universities. We drive your kids' buses and serve them lunch. We're school nurses, custodians, librarians, and more. And we coach your kids on the field. We believe in great public schools for every student, and we believe our team is always stronger when we stand together, just as we have for 175 years.
Every farmer has their reason for why they do what they do. For Becks, it's faith, family, and farming. Since 1937, the Beck family and family of employees have been committed to honoring God and helping farmers succeed. Farming is full of extremes, and we face the challenges with hard work and steadfast determination, delivering quality line of products backed by legendary customer service. We look forward to standing by your side, supporting you as you live out the life you were meant to live. Becks, when it comes to farming, we believe in something more.
This is Tonight in High School Football on the Ohio News Network. Once again, here's Skip Mossick.
We are presented by Beck's Hybrids. At Beck's, they are and will remain farmers at heart. And welcome back, everyone. We're joined at halftime this evening by Chris Worf, who has covered high school football in Southeast Ohio for years on our Marietta and McConnellsville affiliates as we talk a little high school football in that part of the state. And, you know, Worfy, I love getting the picture painted of what football Friday nights are like in different areas of Ohio. Tell us about the passion over there in your corner of the world.
Well, the greatest thing about it, there's no question that the greatest thing is that the crowd participation, the fan base, doesn't matter if a team's 0-10, projected to go 0-10, or they're going to be 10-0. You get the same thing each and every week, and that is just the reason, a fanatic. You know, you sit there and you talk about it. They are just all over the place, and it's phenomenal down here in Southeastern Ohio. People live for football Friday nights.
Well, let me ask you about a couple of teams to keep an eye out from over there. Let's begin with Fort Fry in D6, who's off to another nice start to the season. You know, big win at Bel Air last Saturday, a place I know that's not fond of losing, especially at home.
Yeah, 62-26. You know, they started the season with a big Division II win, like you mentioned, they're Division 6. But they've been in the regional final 3 of the last 4 years. And also, you know, lost in the state semis 2 of the last 4 years. So they're on the same kind of path, now getting recognized statewide. Last year they played Lima Central Catholic, St. Henry. They played them during the regular season. So when you look at a Kirtland and a Coldwater and these powerhouses, Fort Fry is starting to get mentioned in that same breath.
Chris, Division 4, tell us about Morgan, another team off to a nice start at 2-0.
Yeah, Morgan have had tough times, especially over the last 20 years. Now they've got a nice young coach, former player, Chase Bowman. He's finally gotten some senior lettermen and a schedule that may be a little bit favorable at the beginning, but I think they can make some noise this year. It's kind of a special year. It's the last season they'll play at their storied football field as they're building a new one at the high school. Everybody has kind of bought into it, and it feels like something really special could happen.
Another team to pay attention to in Division 7 is Waterford. I know off to a 1-1 start.
Yeah, Waterford ran into a buzzsaw last week. They got beat by a Williamstown, West Virginia team that lost in the state finals last year. And as a matter of fact, that Williamstown team comes across the river. They play Fort Fry as well in week 10. But Waterford having to replace their top 3 players from last year. They were all 4-year lettermen, and they're still searching a little bit. New quarterback, new tailback, some changes defensively, but I see down the road them ending up winning 6-7 games and making maybe a playoff run where they might win 2 games.
Chris, you referenced the facility upgrades at Morgan. I know many schools have made upgrades over the years, but boy, prior to that, many weren't really conducive for radio broadcast. You've been doing this forever. Tell us about some of the most challenging locations you've done games from over the years.
You know, the first thing before I get to challenging, I just want to send a thank you out to all athletic directors. And of course, the longer you do this, the better you get treated.
Yes.
And hopefully the better you treat the people that you're working with as well. But you want to go tough. I went to John Glenn opening week, and a great facility if you're a player. Very small press box. They set me up 2 seats in the bleachers in the middle of the Fort Fry crowd, which is like going to a Beatles concert in 1966. I mean, these people are rabid. So I looked across the way and I saw a softball field with a small press box. It was only elevated maybe 1 story, but my partner and I went over. We got permission to get in there. We were by ourselves. We popped the thing open, and from about 180 feet, did the ball game through a little wired backstop, and that was week 1 this year. Believe me, there's some other ones that you could well tell your own stories, but that's the way I started the season this year.
All the things people never know. Chris Wharf, legendary broadcaster from our Marietta and McConnellsville affiliates. Thanks for talking some Southeast Ohio high school football with us this evening, okay?
I appreciate your time, too.
And we'll be right back on the Ohio News Network.
Bex recognizes this week's Player with Heart, Maura K. Joyacy, for her commitment and passion on the field and within the farming community.
It's a really busy schedule because this is my last year, my senior year, and my main focus is cross country and track because I'm trying to make it a state.
Joyacy plays 2 sports in the fall, soccer and cross country, and she's also president of the FFA.
We go to this place called La Terza, and we roast and brew coffee there, and it's coffee from all over the world. So I mostly like to go there to brew coffee from my country.
Agriculture is something she grew up with in her native Rwanda.
Agriculture is a big part of my childhood. I grew up surrounded by small farms that were started by my family. So agriculture, like when I'm involved in agriculture at school, it's like a replay of my childhood.
At Bex, we are and will remain farmers at heart.
This is ONN.
All right, thanks once again to Chris Wharf for talking a little Southeast Ohio high school football with us this evening. Enjoy the second half of your ball game. I'm Skip Mossick on the Ohio News Network.
This has been the Ohio Education Association Tonight in High School Football, presented by Bex Hybrids from the Ohio News Network.
If you need new roofing, siding, or gutters, skylights, or patio enclosures, if you're a homeowner or business and need someone you can trust, don't take a chance. Enhance with Lance. Lance Roofing and Siding in Fairborn has been satisfying customers since 1993 and hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Lance Roofing and Siding, 8460 Dayton Springfield Road in Fairborn. Call for a free estimate at 864-2722. That's 864-2722 or online at lanceroofing.com.
Buckeye fans, the brand new Chicken Wing in Huber Heights is now open and ready to take your tailgate party to the next level. Do you need a large order of wings for your next Buckeye party? Place your order at our drive-thru. No one else can say that. Chicken Wing is fresh, never frozen, and cooked to order. Hand-battered tenders and fresh hand-tossed wings and your choice of delicious sauces. Chicken Wing, 6315 Brent Pike in Huber Heights. Find us on social at Chicken Wing Co., where fresh and flavor come together. Oh yeah, go Bucks!
You need employees.
Tell me about it.
Actually, tell us about it.
Why?
Because when you tell us about your job openings, we can tell over 300,000 other people.
You can?
Yeah, whether you're looking for a job or a better job, Alpha Media Recruitment can help fill any position with qualified job seekers with a custom plan that combines our broadcast and digital platforms.
You can do that?
It's what we do. Alpha Media Dayton, on air, on site, on demand. Call 937-519-0111. That's 937-519-0111. Or email DaytonJobs@alphamediausa.com. That's DaytonJobs@alphamediausa.com.
The Labor Day event from Dell Technologies is here. End the summer strong by starting up a new season of productivity. Your business upgrade begins with up to 48% off top-rated laptops, like Vostro, taking performance to the next level with 12th Gen Intel Core processors. It's time to push your growing business even further. What's next for you? Upgrade today by calling 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Count on Lowe's for Labor Day savings. Get a Maytag top-load washer for just $568 and a top-load dryer only $548. That's a savings of $462 for the pair. Plus, get free delivery and special financing. Also, buy one, get one 50% off select HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams Paint and Cabot Exterior Stains via rebate. Shop Labor Day savings now at Lowe's. See store at Lowe's.com for details and restrictions. Gas dryers available at additional cost. Exclusions apply while supplies last. Valid through 9/7.
Welcome to Allstate, where saving on your auto insurance is kind of like a joyride. You, your car, and an open road. Maybe your best friend, too. The music is chill, and so is the traffic. Allstate. Here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Call me, Dave Mowdy, at 325-2474. That's 325-2474. Right across the street from Frisch's on East Main Street in Springfield. Based on coverage selected, savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability.
If you need new roofing, siding, or gutters, skylights, or patio enclosures, if you're a homeowner or business and need someone you can trust, don't take a chance. Enhance with Lance. Lance Roofing and Siding in Fairborn has been satisfying customers since 1993 and hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Lance Roofing and Siding, 8460 Dayton Springfield Road in Fairborn. Call for a free estimate at 864-2722. That's 864-2722 or online at lanceroofing.com.
Justin Kinner back with you here on 1410 ESPN Radio. And it's halftime here, and about a fresh minute up on the clock right now. Again, as all the teams, both teams making their way back out into the field. We appreciate you joining us and hanging out with us here on 1410 ESPN Radio. Of course, it's our Week 3 ESPN Dayton High School Football Game of the Week. Here at the half, the Wayne Warriors lead at 7-3 over Pickerington Central, but it's kind of a weird game. As Keith and I talked about, it almost has this vibe as if Pick Central is the one with the lead at the half. Pick Central, although they trail 7-3, I thought they played the better first half as far as playing a cleaner first half. I thought that they played more of their version of football that they wanted to. Wayne, I think, tried and was pressing on a lot of plays, of course, pressing that led to that interception to close out the first half, of course. But right now, Wayne Warriors did not play a very solid first half, but they still lead it 7-3 here over one of the top teams in the state of Ohio, Pickerington Central. Wayne trying to improve to 2-1 on the season. And they, of course, they took care of business last week, and they're looking to make it a 2-game winning streak. And what a win this would be if they can close it out against Pickerington Central. Again, at 7-3, the Wayne Warriors lead it. Both teams with 7 first downs apiece in that first half. Pickerington Central, 99 rushing yards on 24 carries, only 10 carries, only 10 plays on the ground for the Warriors for 31 yards. Pick Central has really not been able to get anything going in the passing game. They've had 2 pass attempts. They've had 7 pass attempts, completing 2 for 4 yards. We've seen a lot of Tyrell Lewis, 19 pass attempts, completing 9 of those. He has thrown an interception, but it's 92 yards in the first half. Total offensive plays, again, 31 total offensive plays run for Pickerington Central. They've been able to garner 103 yards total. Wayne just edging them out by 20 yards. They've actually run 2 less plays than Pickerington Central, 29 total plays for 123 yards. Kickoffs, 1 kickoff for 30 yards for Pickerington Central, 2 kickoff returns for 119 total yards. Of course, that has led, of that 119 yards, 80 of those was, of course, the 80-yard kickoff return by R.J. Mukes for the Warriors' only score in the first half. Time of possession, Pickerington Central, because of the fact that they have run the ball 14 more times than the Wayne Warriors, they have kind of been in control of time of possession. About 14 and a half minutes, they've controlled the clock in the first half. Only 9 minutes for the Wayne Warriors, but the Wayne Warriors have been more aggressive. Zachariah Williams, 8 carries for 37 yards, his longest carry being for a 14-yard run in the first half. Tyrell Lewis, as I talked about, 9-19 in the pass game, has thrown 1 pick, no touchdowns, 92 total passing yards. R.J. Mukes, 4 catches, 41 yards, no touchdowns. Anthony Portis, Tayon Hunter, and Destin Ard, all 1 catch apiece for a combined 39 yards. It's 7-3. The Wayne Warriors lead it over the Pickerington Central Tigers. The Wayne Warriors are warming up on the field right now. Pickerington Central making their way onto the field to warm up. We'll step away for a few moments, send it back to the WNG studios. Brandon will send it back to Keith Byars and myself. We have second half action coming up next here in the next 60 seconds. Keith Byars will join me again coming up on the other side, and we'll give you some updated scores around the Miami Valley. Second half action coming up next. It's our ESPN Dayton High School Football Game of the Week. The Wayne Warriors, who lead at 7-3 over the Pickerington Central Tigers. Second half coming up.
Everyday values are at only one place, Frickers. Monday, boneless frickin' chicken wings. Tuesday, traditional frickin' chicken wings. Wednesday is all about that steak. Thursday, frickin' chicken chunks. Frickers, where kids 10 and under eat free every day. Remember draft beer specials, everyday values, and kids eat free every day. The home for money-saving value is the home for fun, food, sports, and spirits, Frickers.
Looking for dippable chicken that's done right? Just stop by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken for the 10-piece strips meal at a great price. You'll get 10 premium chicken tenderloins that are freshly marinated, honey-dipped, hand-breaded, and cooked to crispy perfection, along with 2 of our large sides, 5 fluffy biscuits, and 3 of your favorite dipping sauces. These are the best strips, no bones about it. Make your family and your wallet happy with a 10-piece strips meal, only at Lee's. Famous for chicken.
Justin Kenner back with you here on 1410 ESPN Radio. We're just moments away from kickoff here. Second half action coming up. And again, the Wayne Warriors received in the first half, so Pick Central will receive here to start things off in the second half. Pretty excited for second half action to get underway here. If you would like to follow some of the scores around the Miami Valley, head to wingam.com. Click on the high school football scoreboard, which is up in the upper left-hand corner of the homepage. And there you'll be able to follow along on the scores in the Miami Valley. Pretty cool. Excited to have that feature for all of you here. Let's take a look at some of the scores in first half action again as the Wayne Warriors lead at 7-3 over the Pinkerton Central Tigers. The Piqua Indians lead at 45-0 over the Troy Trojans in the third quarter. A big rivalry matchup right there. Piqua dominating once again. Continuing to go down the list, the Bellbrook Eagles and the Tecumseh Arrows are tied at 7 apiece in the third quarter. Much lower scoring games here in week 3 from what I can tell. Sydney leads at 14-7 over the Greenville Green Wave. Springboro leads Elder 20-14. 21-0 lead at the half for the Trotwood or for the Springfield Wildcats over the Trotwood Rams. All right, we are off and rolling here in the second half. Kickoff and received, of course, by Pickerington Central. And now we'll see them take over for their first offensive drive here of the second half. Continuing to go down the list again, Springfield jumped on Trotwood early, but Jeff Graham's Rams doing a much better job defensively. They slowed down the attack from the Mo Douglas's Wildcats, and it's 21-0 Springfield over Trotwood. Keith, it doesn't sound like a good score for the Rams, but considering how quickly they jumped on the Rams in that first half.
It was 7-0. You blinked, it was 14 and 21. Like, wow, what happened?
So already sloppy game in the first half for the Warriors. A lot of penalties, and already starting things off here with the penalty for the Warriors. And now we'll see Pinkerton Central. They'll start their first offensive drive of the second half, Keith, at the 46-yard line, already inching close into Wayne territory.
Already. I mean, this is a way, if you're losing at the half, you want to come out and get something positive. And, something positive, they're getting starting almost plus territory right at the 46-yard line. So we'll see how this drive will unfold.
So, again, the quarterback and Braden Mantooth, again, only 6 pass attempts in that first half, and this is going to be a handoff to the outside, number 13.
There's a little wildcat action there. Just lined up in there and just took off.
And that was number 13, Keith, and Terrence Alexander. Terrence Alexander's been very active in the offense. They just haven't really been able to get him into any kind of breakout situations.
No, but you got to keep an eye on him. He's left-handed, so they've not thrown a halfback pass but once, but he was running to the right the one time he did throw it. And I'm expecting that, a little trickeration, him throwing the pass going to the left.
2nd and 12 now coming up for the Tiger offense. And now that's, of course, Braden Mantooth in the shotgun again. Awaits the snap, gets the snap, quick handoff,
Good
and swallowed up.
penetration.
What a great play defensively.
Yes,
I'm trying to see
indeed.
the number, Keith. Who, number 99? Is that who that is? Number 99. Cool number, by the way. But number 99 for the Wayne Warriors absolutely gobbled up the running back for the Pinkerton Central Tigers. Number 99, Mario Fowler.
Looked like my old teammate Jerome Brown at that play.
Mario Fowler, he's a junior, Keith. He's 5'8", 250 pounds, and the running back for Pick Central felt all 250 pounds.
He's a bowling ball type build. And
he got a strike if that's
low
the case.
center of gravity.
Good for him. Good for him, and a much more aggressive.
There we go,
defense.
third down. This big down here. Can they get off the field?
Empty backfield, 3 receivers set to his left.
Oh, that's timeout so early in the half.
Yeah, 3rd and 15, and you're right.
Oh, that would burn me up as a coach. Hey, let it go.
I didn't see the play clock. Was that a play clock timeout as
It
the
was-
time
yeah,
was
it was starting.
winding down? Interestingly enough. So 10:24, a timeout out on the field. We'll keep it here. It'll be 3rd and 15 for the Tigers, and they have the ball at their own 41-yard line. And, of course, a penalty against the Wayne Warriors on the kickoff, which then put the Tigers already in good field position to start the second half. But then things fell apart quickly thanks to, of course, the pass rush. Mario Fowler, the big man for the Warriors up on the defensive line, creating havoc.
Yes, he is. I mean, that was a heck of a play, to put his team in position here to set up the 3rd and long.
And right now,
Well, this was Friday night lights. The lights are on in the stadium now. It's still not quite in daylight savings time, but we don't have to worry about that no more, right?
How about real quick, Keith, Fairmont, who I've witnessed absolutely obliterate their opponents the last 2 weeks, blowing out Alter, blowing out Trotwood. they're in a much tighter game. It's only a 10-3 lead in the third quarter over the Lancers of LaSalle. So
They got to get Drew. They got to get Drew Baker the ball.
Yep. All right. 3rd and 15. Man tooth, empty backfield. 3 receivers set to his left. Gets the snap. Ball
He's
and
got
they're on
time to
41.
throw.
Rolling out to his right. Keeps his eyes down the
He's got
field.
a
He
man.
throws. Wide
He's got a
open
man.
receiver.
Oh my gosh!
He goes
He's
up
caught
and
it.
catches it. He comes down with it, and he's going to walk it into the end zone for the first offensive score of the night for the Pickerington Central Tigers.
For either offense.
How about that? Rasheem Byars, the 6'2", 200-pound receiver, the senior receiver for the Tigers. Keith, that was the most impressive passing play we've seen.
Man-tooth had a little time. He broke out of the pocket. Kept his eyes downfield, and it was really one of those you got mossed situation. He threw it up for the big receiver, and it's just physics.
And not only did he come down with it,
the ball.
He created separation and
Yes,
completed
indeed.
it. Yeah. So now it's 9-7. The Tigers lead it by 2, and the extra point is blocked, and that's big right there. See, Keith, that's why that blocked field goal earlier, you got to be kicking yourself because it would have been a 10-3, then a 10-9 lead with the blocked extra point attempt right there. But nonetheless, Warriors I thought that was one of their better defensive possessions up until that big play. So we talked about in the first half.
There you go.
Yes, I was waiting for it. I put it out there.
You put that juju out there. But,
talked into his existence.
And
that's for sure.
Pickerington Central, thank you for that.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, way to go, Justin.
So now.
Well, they have to kick off. And you know what happened the last time they kicked off?
Mr. R.J. Mukes.
Now, Jay Mukes said, I'll take that back to the house. Do you kick it back to him again?
R.J. Mukes, only one kickoff kickoff return in that first half. 81-yard touchdown return. And that's the only 7 points of the night for the Warriors. And you know what? If that's how they continue to put points up, I don't think Mukes cares right now. He just wants points put up on that board. They trail by 2. It's 9-7. Tigers with the lead. 10-13 to go. They'll kick off after, of course, a big score on their first possession of the second half. Mukes lines up along to receive the kick, as well as Hunter. Scary
it's returnable.
returns.
It's returnable. Pick it up.
Hunter
he dropped it.
Bobbled it, picks it up at the 5. He tries to juke out the defender, and he's tackled at the 10-yard line. So not a lot of magic there. So now for the first time tonight, Keith, I'm looking across at all of the purple, and I see nothing but blue or whatever the heck their colors are, but purple. Bottom line is
I got my binoculars.
Yeah, I see the crowd into it now. I see energy on that sideline. I think Pick Central, they've been flat most of the night. Almost wonder if the Warriors missed out on an opportunity to catch them while they were down. I've seen a different pep in the step with the Tigers here. We'll see what the Warrior offense can do.
Well, I mean, maybe they got a little, what do you call it with a halftime speech where it gets a little salty language in there? Maybe they got some of that.
A little fire.
And they came out, open and drive, get 6-7 points on the board, with 6 points on the board. Let's see how Wayne answers it.
All right, now Tyrell Lewis.
I mean, Tyrell, I think they're going to go as well as he goes.
Tyrell Williams hands it off to the big man Williams. And
well,
Williams
that's what the
gets pulled
fans
down.
were, we can hear the hometown fans on this side. And they wanted to see more running in the first half, and that's what they got the first play of the second half.
Yeah, Zachariah Williams gets the first carry of the second half for the Warrior offense, and he gets it within a yard of the first. So a 2nd and 1 now at the 10-yard line. And he had a very solid first half, Keith, on the ground despite the limited carries, 37 yards along of a 14-yard run, of course. They go back to the big man, handoff, burst to the outside, avoids a couple tackles, but he's spun around. He picks up
he
the
got
first.
the first down. Almost was a face mask. He got him up high.
Pick Central that you could see him swarming to the ball.
I'm glad they ran the ball there. 2nd and short, I know that sometimes people say, well, take a shot on 2nd and short. But if you don't get it, then it's 3rd and short. But right that down, you're trying to establish something. Let your big guys up front establish the running. There's 2 runs in a row. Here's a bubble screen, and you get run the ball.
So it was 1st and 10 from the 21. You talked about that bubble screen to the outside, and as a tackle for a loss.
It's like we can't run the ball 3 times in a row. Ohio State does that too sometimes. So that gets me upset. I've been a former running back. It's okay to run the ball.
2nd and 10 now coming up, ball at the 21-yard line. 8:53 to go here in the third quarter. The Tigers opened up the second half with an impressive drive. Tyrell Williams drops back, quick release, connects.
Scored.
And that, of course, is going to be Hunter. Hunter gets spun around at about the 28-yard line.
All right, so there's 2 passes, 2 runs. Now, what's the 5th play of this drive going to be?
It's 1st and 10, ball at the 32. Tyrell Williams.
2 runs in a row, 3 passes in a row.
Tyrell Lewis with Williams to his right hip. And
Make a man miss.
Gets to the outside. He made the
got
man
a
miss.
chance.
He but he's at the 50.
Not quite a track meet yet.
He gets
Not
a couple.
quite a track meet yet.
And he's pulled down at the 22-yard line, Keith, and that's Mukes.
If you don't get Mukes early, it's going to be hard to get him late.
Mukes has had 2 big bursts today. The 81-yard kickoff return for the score, and then that big play right there to get the Wayne Warrior fans on their feet. On this side, we could feel it rumbling beneath our feet here in the press box.
Hand the ball off. Run it.
Back to the big man Williams. Williams gets to the outside. He gets to the 15, the 10, and he's tackled about the 8-yard line.
Another first down. We got a 1st and goal situation.
You hear the train in the background. I think that's fitting. I don't know if that was a sound effect or an actual train. 8:15 to go.
That defender for Pick Central thinks it was a train.
I like the hurry up here. I like the decision by Coach Mukes to change up the pace a little bit. Ard goes in motion. Tyrell Lewis waits the snap. Goes right back to Williams.
There's a hole.
And Tyrell Lewis on the handoff to Williams, and Williams is tackled at the 6-yard line, Keith. About a 3-yard gain right there that'll set up 2nd and goal, and they need about 6 for the score.
Yeah, no penalties down here right now. You're inside the 5.
Tyrell Lewis.
Bad snap.
He rolls out. He tucks it, and he rolls his way up. Yep. So now he's inside the 5-yard line, and that'll bring up 3rd and short. 3rd and goal coming up. 7:31 to go here in the 3rd quarter. The Tigers lead at 9-7. They have the ball at the 4-yard line, Keith, and they have 2 opportunities to punch it in. This is the 2nd time we've seen the Warriors inside the 5 of the Tigers.
You don't want to settle for field goals down here. The last one got blocked.
A penalty last time they were within the 10 brought them all the way back to about the 30, and then they never looked back from there.
So I'm saying take your time right now. Get the right play called. It's
Tyrell
3rd down.
Lewis rolls out. Defender in his face. Lobs it up. Connects. No, it's dropped. And that'll bring up 4th down now.
Too much trickeration. Just come out.
So now I'm seeing big bodies make their way out onto the field. Is this the kicking unit, Keith?
Yep.
Do you like this call? Would you rather see him be aggressive and go for it, or take the points and take the lead right back?
Take the points. If we can't block them and get a kickoff, we don't deserve it.
For those of you just joining us, we appreciate you tuning in and hanging out with us here
we
tonight.
just got to block them out. If I'm the Wayne coach,
69 there.
Give me a good snap.
Luke Dalton.
Good snap, good hold. The kick is up. Kick is good.
So Dalton,
when Wayne gets down, they come back immediately and take the lead.
And Dan Cannon got me again.
I was ready that time.
So interesting response from the Wayne Warriors, because I thought that, after their defense gave up the biggest play of the game and gave up the lead, I thought their offense had come out flat, and it's almost like that's what they needed to wake up a little bit.
That was a 90-yard drive.
Absolutely.
They started on their own 10.
10-9. The Warriors lead it now. 6:59 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Exciting game. We have seen some very high-scoring games the first 2 weeks of the season, not just in our games, but throughout the Miami Valley. I'm amazed at how many low-scoring games we've seen this week as the defense starting to catch up with some of the offenses a little bit. Nonetheless, but this is a great low-scoring game. It's kind of a change of pace a little bit, but a 10-9 lead for the Warriors.
Yeah, as soon as we're going to find out tomorrow night when Ohio State plays, but I've had people coming up to me all day today. Well, Ohio State 17.5 points. How you feel about that? I just want to be up by 1 after 60 minutes of football and then go from there. It's about winning. And right now, Wayne has a 1-point lead, but it's a lot of football to go. You got about 19 minutes of football to play.
So we've saw back-to-back impressive offensive drives for both teams.
Don't forget the special teams.
The ball's going to be returned from the 50.
Picks has some nice returns today, but not this one.
6:54 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. It's a 10-9, 1-point advantage for the Warriors. And now we will get to see the offense come back out onto the field. We watched a very kind of dry first half from the passing game for Pickerington Central and the Tigers, but Braden Mantooth connected on a huge play with Rasheem Byars, the 6'2", 200-pound senior wide receiver, who was able to create separation, muscle his way up for the catch, and then use that burst of speed to separate from the cornerbacks after he got the ball. We'll see if they can build off that momentum established last time down the field, but I think they shouldn't get pass heavy, stick to what's been working, rely on the run game. We'll see what they do here.
We're going to find out. I mean, Wayne hasn't blitzed a lot, and not blitzes the whole thing.
Look at that!
He's taking a chance, a throwback,
and the ball nearly picked off. But
the quarterback, I call this a throwback play. Quarterback rolls, half roll one direction and throws back, where he rolled from.
It was 1st and 10 from the 25. That'll bring up 2nd and 10 on the incomplete pass from Braden Mantooth. Now, keep in mind, that was actually one of the more aggressive passing plays we've seen. He dropped back. They talked about that style of play, and he just stepped into that throw. Nice throw, just couldn't complete it. 10-9, the clock stops with the incompletion.
Anybody wondering about the tennis score? Serena Williams is playing Tomjanovich, and she lost the first set, but she's up 4-1. 5-2 in the second set. For your tennis fans out there,
I think there's non-tennis fans following
tennis.
I'm
a
tennis
tennis
what I mean?
fan, but I'm a women's tennis fan, not the guys.
Real quick, 2nd and 10 at the 25. Mantooth lines up under center, sends a man in motion. Delayed handoff. Big guy up the middle.
No, he's not down yet.
5-yard gain. He was initially hit 2 yards at the line of scrimmage, and then he was able to pick up about another 3 or 4. Moves the pile. But yes, I think what's interesting about this tennis day is you said tennis fans out there, but I think there's non-tennis fans who are glued
right, exactly
to the screen.
Like non-golf fans when Tiger Woods is playing well.
Absolutely. So now 3rd and 4 for the Pickerington Central Tiger offense.
Can the defense get off the field? And can Pickerington and the quarterback, Wildcat again, the quarterback's out wide, isn't he?
Mantooth again lines up. 3 receivers set to his right. No, you're right. There was
It's
the Wildcat.
There's the Wildcat.
And he bursted right up the middle. Pick Central, they're very methodical with how they run their offense. They had that big pass play. They didn't try to go back to those pass plays. They've just gone back to what was working in that first half, just a couple chunk plays here and there, trying to wear down the defense.
They took Mantooth out. He's on the sideline right now. They're going to.
Nonetheless, you're talking about the
Wildcat action.
Kind of a little change of pace.
But just a different quarterback.
So now again, 1st and 10, a fresh set of downs, 5:35 to go. A man set in motion. The Wildcats, and again, a penalty is thrown. Might have been a false start. Yeah.
Offsides.
Was on the offsides?
Offsides on Pickerington.
So a false start to Pick Central. They'll drop back in. It was 1st and 10 at their 41. So now it'll be 1st and 15 on the 5-yard loss. More penalties starting to rack up here, not just for the Warriors, but for Pick Central as well. 5:30, clock continues to tick. The ball is at the 36-yard line. And again, now the handoff.
Oh, boy.
The helmet just popped off. Another big play, and another flag is thrown. And flags are being thrown from all over.
Watch out, guys.
Laundry came from every angle out on the field. The fans are letting the officials know they're not happy, but I'm curious to see what the officials saw.
The officials got to take control of that.
A helmet was ripped off, I'm assuming. I don't know if it fell off in just the middle of play or if it was ripped off. I'm curious to see. This could be, I think we've seen quite a few personal fouls, more than usual, what we're accustomed to seeing in a ballgame.
There are multiple fouls.
Multiple fouls.
We got face mask on the defense, number 11. We got offense, number 55, participating after the helmet came off.
So face mask. Interesting enough.
So he reacted to his face mask getting ripped off, is what they're saying.
Double offsetting penalties right there. They'll replay the down. It'll be 1st and 15 at the 36. But for those listening at home, not being able to see it, all of a sudden, me and Keith look down. We see a helmet flying across the field. The kid who lost his helmet started retaliating towards the guy that ripped his helmet off, and rightfully so. I don't know how you handled the people trying to rip your helmet off, Keith.
Not very well.
1st and 15, ball at the 36, 5:09 remaining here in the third
Jim
quarter.
Brown, Richard Pryor used to have a joke about that, about Jim Brown. He used to tell people, oh, outside this helmet belonged to you. Oh, inside this helmet belonged to me. Give me the ball.
I'm surprised you found a Richard Pryor joke that we could say on the radio. Yeah, you got maybe kind of nervous there. A fake pitch to the right.
Ron Harper isn't on the show tonight.
Yeah, no kidding. Shout out to Ron Harper, by the way. Rolling out to his left. And again,
another penalty.
Things are starting to get chippy down on the field, Keith. It's a hard-hitting defensive game. It's a 10-9 one-possession game. And you can hear the coaching staff Central just losing their minds over here to the left of us. Talked about the clean joke that you shared. They're not being very clean over in that office. I'm just saying. So I don't know if you can get FCC violations for background noise, but we're about to test that theory. So nonetheless, all right, folks, again, things get a little chippy out on the field. It's a low-scoring game. It's a 10-9, 1-point lead for the Warriors. Wow. So after that carry and chippiness on the field is a personal foul against the Wayne Warriors, a 15-yard penalty after the run play, Keith. And now all of a sudden, Pick Central has found their way deep into Wayne territory. They're in very good position here out on the field.
I hate defensive penalties. The offense you kind of understand sometimes, but defense is no excuse.
So that's going to make it 1st and 10 at the Wayne Warrior 36. They were just at the Pick Central 36. I mean, they talk about flipping the field right here. 10-9, Wayne Warriors lead it by 1, 4:44 to go. Pick Central football. It's 1st and 10 at the Warrior 38. And again, I don't know if their quarterback got hurt, Keith, or what. Another helmet down and on the ground, and bodies continuing to be flipped around, waiting for laundry. Are we going to?
55 is how much better out to let off every play.
Oh, that
He's got to go out. Yeah, get it fixed.
So a 3-yard gain right there on the run. I'm not sure if we saw the quarterback get hurt, Keith, and Braden Mantooth, but we have not seen Mantooth back on the field in a few plays. I don't know if he's making.
No, I don't think he's hurt. I think it's a package without him.
He's getting punished for throwing an 80-yard touchdown when they're trying to just pick up a couple yard plays at a time. That's what it's like. That's the last time we saw him on the field. So now that's going to bring up 2nd down. They need 7 for the first. They have the ball at the Warrior 35.
Can we have a play without a penalty?
Man set in motion. The snap. The handoff. Squares his shoulders at the line of scrimmage. He picks up quite a few yards.
Ball's on the ground. Ball's loose.
Could this be the first turnover of the first turnover of the night for Pickerington Central? Wayne Warrior defense saying yes.
They're calling him down. The referee called him down. The ball was loose.
Defense was trying to, of course, plead their case, but the officials blow the
I thought he was down too, but the ball did come out. But he was. Ball can't cause a fumble. Ground can't cause a fumble.
So now a 2 yards they need for the first. Talking about Pick Central. Again, they have the ball at the 29-yard line of the Warriors. Pick Central, who did not score an offensive touchdown in the first half. They scored a touchdown, an 80-yard bomb, of course, from Braden Mantooth to Derek Grimes, or to Rasheem Byars, I apologize. That is the only offensive score of the night for the Tigers. And right now they're marching deep into Wayne territory, looking to continue the momentum they established last time down the field. A man in motion, 3rd and 1. They need 1 for the first, ball at the 29. The running back squares his shoulders.
He's not down yet.
That's number 7, Keith, and Gino Williams, this 6 foot, 260-pound running back. He's a senior, 260 pounds. No wonder he didn't go down on the first initial contact. And a fresh set of downs to work with. And now the Warrior defense starting to look a little tired, Keith. So
that's what grinding it out does.
So 1st and 10 now, ball at the 21-yard line of the Warriors, and I believe Mantooth might be back out on the field now. They've changed it back up again. This time they have the ball in the shotgun. Braden Mantooth with the running back on his left hip. Steps up, changes the play at the line of scrimmage. 1st and 10 at the 21. Mantooth awaits the snap. Mantooth gets the snap. This time he calls his own number, tucks it, and runs, and he's pulled down about the 18-yard line. About a 3-yard pickup by the quarterback, Keith. So back on the field.
I mean, they're back there in field goal range right now.
So now it's 2nd down. They need 6 for the first down. The ball's at the 21 again. I'm starting to see some defensive substitutions here for the Warriors. 2:10 remaining. And again, you have the Warriors who a lot of passing plays. Clock continues to stop for a lot of, their incompletions. And then, of course, Pick Central, they're running the ball a lot. Sending a man in motion. 2nd and 6 at the 17. The Wildcat again. This time they're going to go right back to Rasheem Byars. And Rasheem Byars squares his shoulders. Couple-yard gain. Nothing much more than that, though. Still short of the first. So, again, more bodies coming out onto the field. We'll see Pick Central. If they can't if they can't convert on 3rd down here, do they go for the kicking unit again? I mean, we've seen in high school football, we've seen a lot of the kicking units here tonight. And we're not talking about the extra points either, Keith.
No, we have not.
All right, now 1:23 remaining. It's 3rd and 4 at the 15. Mantooth.
He's keeping it.
Running right up the middle.
He's a pretty big fella. So he's 6'5". When he falls forward, he's going to fall forward for yards.
6'5", 190 pounds. The senior plowed his way up the middle. I don't think it was enough for the first. He might have been a yard short, and I'm curious. A lot of bodies coming on. Are they going to go for the field goal here, Keith, as they trail by 1? No, they're going to go for the.
Well, look out for.
No, it's
4th and 1.
They're running. Maybe look out for the hard
The
count.
full house backfield.
A little old school football here, Keith, at the 12-yard line, and he bursts over the line of scrimmage, and I believe it's enough for the first. The chains will move, and I believe a 1st and 10.
Another helmet on the ground for Pick Central.
I know there's a helmet shortage here in the state of Ohio. But my goodness, a lot of helmet shortages here for the players on the field right now. We've seen a lot of helmets fall off and fly out here tonight. If you're just tuning in, it's our ESPN Dayton High School Football Game of the Week. The Wayne Warriors lead at 10-9 over the Pickerington Central Tigers. We're under a minute to go here in the third quarter. Pickerington Central now has a fresh full set of downs to work with. Braden Mantooth in under center, of course, for the Tigers as he's marching deep into Wayne territory. And on the handoff, defense did not let anything go there. That was number 45 for the Wayne Warriors, who swallowed him up. That was Achilles Gordon, the senior 6'4", 210-pound defensive lineman, not letting anything go there. So now 2nd down. They need 11 for the first. And again, you pick up if you pick up the first, Keith, that's going to put you right at the 1 yard line. But
they're going to go to 4th quarter.
No, it's not a penalty. I'm sorry. Yeah, they're just going to let that clock run. I said this earlier. Pick Central trails. It feels like they're leading.
You're right.
They're managing this game as if they have the lead, and that's what I find most unique. But 3 quarters are in the books. I'm Justin Kinner alongside Keith Byars. We are live here at Heidkamp Stadium, the home field for the Wayne Warriors, as they are gripping and holding on for dear life to a 1-point lead over the Pickerington Central Tigers. It'll be 2nd and 11 for the Tigers at the Warrior 11-yard line. Both teams flipping the field. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Buckeye fans, the brand new Chicken Wing in Huber Heights is now open and ready to take your tailgate party to the next level. Do you need a large order of wings for your next Buckeye party? Place your order at our drive-thru. No one else can say that. Chicken Wing is fresh, never frozen, and cooked to order. Hand-battered tenders and fresh hand-tossed wings and your choice of delicious sauces. Chicken Wing, 6315 Brent Pike in Huber Heights. Find us on social at Chicken Wing Co., where fresh and flavor come together. Oh yeah, go Bucks.
You need employees.
Tell me about it.
Actually, tell us about it.
Why?
Because when you tell us about your job openings, we can tell over 300,000 other people.
You can?
Yeah, whether you're looking for a job or a better job, Alpha Media Recruitment can help fill any position with qualified job seekers with a custom plan that combines our broadcast and digital platforms.
You can do that?
It's what we do. Alpha Media Dayton, on air, on site, on demand. Call 937-519-0111. That's 937-519-0111. Or email DaytonJobs@alphamediausa.com. That's DaytonJobs@alphamediausa.com.
All right, it's 2nd and 11. The ball's at the 11-yard line, and Pick Central again knocking on the door of.
There's a screen. Oh, he's got room out there. Can they make the tackle?
Biles gets to the
There's
10.
a flag.
And the laundry comes down on the field, and every time
There's
there's
55. I'm tired of watching his helmet off. There's 55 for Pick Pickerington. Pick Central.
You keep trying. You're going to get it.
I don't have a 55.
Pickerington Central, yeah.
Pickerington Central.
And he doesn't have a number, and he doesn't have a helmet. That's all.
I'm tired of seeing his helmet. That time it was 58.
The coaching staff.
What did he say? I'm tired of seeing their helmets getting off.
I don't know, but
he was
Pickerington
upset.
Central's coaching staff drops more F-bombs than any staff I've heard. And I know it's football and you get into it, but my goodness, that kind of gets a little over the top more times than not. But nonetheless, I know they're unhappy, but my goodness, that 2nd and 11 is now going to be a significant loss here because it's a penalty against Pickerington Central. So now waiting again, and I think from up here too, we're seeing that things are getting chippy down there. So a lot of times right now they're starting to see.
Are you saying it's not a love loss, but there's not a lot of love in the room between the two teams?
Well, I think right now what you're seeing too is the fact that, as they start to kind of bicker more, I think the officials are being a little bit extra tight with the officiating of the ball game to kind of prevent things from getting out of hand. So now it was at the 11-yard line, Keith, that 15-yard penalty. It's now 2nd and 25, and
they're out of field goal range.
So, yes, you're right. They're out of field goal range, which is why I was about to bring up the use of the special teams today.
Well, they barely almost got a call, but barely got this playoff.
Yeah, things starting to fall apart a little bit. Nothing cooking there, and the Warrior defense feeding off the crowd.
1 second on the play clock, and they were rushed. It weren't quite ready.
We're here in the press box, and you can feel the fans. I mean, it's rattling beneath our feet, and the defense is feeding off of that, and that's a big play for the defense. It's a 10-9 game, 19 combined points in this ball game, Keith, 3 quarters in and 1 minute into the fourth quarter. Love I mean, this might be one of the more lower-scoring games I think we've called. We said it's our 6th year doing this. I don't recall a lot of low-scoring games like this, but entertaining.
But it is entertaining nonetheless. You don't need to like the scoreboard up to entertain us. And we are watching, a really good football game.
10:45 remaining here in the ball game. Pickerington Central, they've been knocking on the door of getting the lead.
Well,
back.
last time they had 3rd and long, they got a first down. There's already a penalty. There are too many people on the field. The ref is counting. 12 minutes.
What we're witnessing is
I see 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
So
there's 12 people.
Just to recap here, folks, it was 2nd and
4,
11.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's 12 people on the field.
It was second and 11 at the Warrior 11 for Pickerington Central. They were knocking on the door of putting points up on the board, whether it be a field goal or touchdown, to take the lead as they trail 10-9. But what was once 2nd and 11 is now 3rd and 26 from the 27-yard line. And all of a sudden, they're starting to collapse. And, of course, the empty backfield set. Again, 3 receivers set to his right, talking about the quarterback.
Just quarterback draw.
Mantooth just grabs it, runs, and 4 defenders bring down the quarterback. Defensive line swallowed him up, Keith. And all momentum. You talk about momentum shifting from one side to the other. I think she's a Wayne Warrior right now.
But she's fickle. Well, he's fickle. Well, it's fickle. It doesn't mind what sideline it jumps on. It just wants to ride.
All right, now that's going to bring up 4th and long, and, of course, out of field goal range here. So we'll see how they plan to do it. It looks like they're going to bring the punt team out, Keith. And, I mean, this is the point of the field, though. Do you treat, a deep pass? Yeah, they're just going for the deep pass here, or they could just look
for a penalty.
Yeah, Braden Mantooth awaits the snap, empty backfield, 3 receivers set to
The
his
interception won't be the end of the world.
Lobs it up into the middle of the field.
Don't intercept it. Don't intercept it. Bat it down. Don't intercept it.
And now, so you're right.
You don't want an interception there. You bat the ball down. That's as good as a punt. You don't want you got to know the situation. It's 4th down. You don't want to intercept that ball.
So it's 4th, as you mentioned, Keith, 4th and 31 from the 32-yard line.
That's as good as a punt. They're not going to punt the ball inside the 10. They're going to go in the end zone. You would have it on the 20.
To be honest, I think that Pickerington Central got what they wanted out of that.
Yes.
It was too close to punt, but too far to kick a field goal, and it was too big of a range for them to try to technically.
So
really
they're hoping
they
throw it down there, hoping for a penalty. But if not, we get an interception and we just tackle them.
And they're lucky they didn't get the penalty, by the way, because I thought I saw a receiver get popped down, but it doesn't matter. Bottom line is, it's Wayne Warrior football. The interception right about the 6-7 yard line, and that's where we'll see Tyrell Lewis and the offense for the Warriors make their way back.
But it's hard to tell a defensive guy not to intercept the ball.
Yes,
I don't catch that well anyway. I'm on defense,
So Tyrell Lewis now will line up with the running back in the backfield. Of course, Tyrell Lewis gets the snap, quickly hands it off at the 5, the 6, the 7, and he's swallowed up back to the original line.
Playing field position. That's why they threw the ball up like that.
So now that'll bring up 2nd down, 9:13 to go here in the ball game. The Warriors are holding on to a 1-point lead. Right now, obviously, you would love to try to take off as much time off the clock as you can. You would love to try to continue to move the ball as close into Pick Central territory as you can. But at the very least, if you're not going to be able to convert, you want to punt and bury them back as far as possible. Tyrell Lewis, a deep pass, wide open receiver, and he connects at the 40-yard line. The ball, it was 2nd and 10 from the 7-yard line. Tyrell Lewis drops back and connects.
Number 14.
Unbelievable pass. You said it was number 14. I couldn't see the number, but regardless, whoever pulled it down, Keith, number 14 for the Wayne Warriors, and Ard pulls it down at the 40-yard line, and this is what they need. 3 receivers set to his left. Now he hands it off to the running back. Running back is
not
popped.
much there.
Yep. Running back never technically was taken down, but they blow the whistle. They blow the play dead right there. Zachariah Williams, Keith, is a big 5'9", 185 pounds. They couldn't bring him down, but they stopped his movement right there. That's for sure. 2nd and 11 now coming up under 8:30 to go. 2nd down. Ball at the 42 now, 8:17 to go. Clock continues to move. Wayne Warriors being methodical with the ball movement here. Again, they want that time to run, but keep the momentum going. They've played better in the hurry-up as the night's gone on. Tyrell Lewis awaits the snap, has Williams in the backfield. Hands it off to Williams.
He's got a hole. He's
Burst,
got a hole over there. He's got a hole.
And he's going to be pulled down at the 45-yard line on the Pig Central side. A 15-yard gain, Keith. Unbelievable.
You know, you have got to trust the running game. You love to throw the ball as much as anybody else, but you cannot abandon the run.
So 1st and 10, a fresh set of downs for Tyrell Lewis and the Warriors. And they have the ball at the Pick Central 43-yard line, and we're under 8 minutes to go, and the Warriors holding on to a 1-point lead. Williams in the backfield along with Tyrell. Tyrell again, Lewis hands it off to Williams, and Williams comes down about the 40, 39-yard line, about a 3-yard gain, Keith.
Yeah, there's some positive. It's time to start running Josh Padilla. The Ohio State commit right tackle, the big number 66, Joshua Padilla. I would start running more plays toward him.
Absolutely. 2nd down. They need 7 for the first. The ball's at the 40. Tyrell Lewis with Williams on his right hip. Drops back. Lewis throws. He's hit as he throws, and that is Mukes, who was wide open. He beat the defensive back down the field about the 5-yard line, but just couldn't get to the ball in time. Tyrell Lewis, Keith, I've seen him just get popped 4 times tonight, but all 4 times, it's not like he tucks it and takes the lot. I mean, he finishes the throw. He steps into it. He knows he's going to get hit. I know he hasn't been accurate, but how many quarterbacks are accurate as they're getting drilled right there? But still, pretty solid throws nonetheless. That stops the clock, Keith. 7:10 remaining in the third quarter, or in the
big
fourth quarter of the
here.
ball game, I should say.
3rd and 7.
Ball at the 40. Tyrell Lewis awaits the snap. He
Rolling
goes rolling
right.
to his right.
He's got a guy comeback route. Oh, we got it.
So he released it from the 47-yard line. He had Mukes wide open at the 29. Well, I should say had.
Yeah, he's got to set his
Mukes was
feet.
open. Mukes had not turned to the ball, and it was underthrown.
Yeah, he didn't set his feet. He rushed the throw.
What do you do here, Keith? You punt it? Oh, it's holding. Now you do punt it, so that's going to make that easy.
Wow, they take the penalty?
Well, then take the penalty so they can replay the 3rd down, but nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, it's 4th and 7. You don't think you can stop them on 4th and 7 if they go for it? They're not going to go for it. They're going to punt. So now it's 3rd and 27.
Now
3rd and 22.
Interesting decision here. 7:06 remaining here in the ball game. A 10-9 1-point lead for the Warriors. 3rd and 22.
You need the ball back. I mean, now they got a chance of making a big play.
3rd and 22 from
Not
their
that I'm
own
questioning
40.
the coach, but
they had the ball at the Pickerington Central 40.
Wayne can score anywhere.
Tyrell Lewis connects with Mukes. Mukes is hit at the 49-yard line.
Yeah, but he's going to eat clock. Not that you're up against it just yet. 7 minutes to go in the game and ticking.
So the one touchdown that the Tigers have scored tonight has been an 80-yard bomb, but outside of that, that's then the only explosive play. So continuing to take time off, it's not as if the Tigers have proven that they can facilitate a scoring drive in quick fashion. So maybe that's why they feel like they have momentum on their side, or at least have a plan. But we've seen that they can strike quick, even through the pass game. So they're going to punt here, and it looks like on the receiver.
Do you go after the punter right now, or play and return?
With how sloppy they've been penalties-wise, I'd be careful nonetheless. But they do
a lot
bring
of bodies back
It's
there.
blocked. It's blocked, and it's recovered at the 30. Yes, it's recovered. Pick Central. Wow. And let me gather myself here. So it was 4th and 17, punting from the 50. You asked if they should bring the house. I said, be careful. There's been a lot of penalties. They've been undisciplined. They blocked the punt. They recover, Keith. They were punting from the 50, and now the offense takes over for Pickerington Central
in great
at the
field
Wayne
position.
32-yard line. Unbelievable, folks. This is a great game tonight on our ESPN Dayton High School Football Game of the Week. It's 10-9. The Tigers trail by 1. So now we'll see Braden Mantooth and the offense for the Tigers. And now this is just a totally different vibe now, because at one point you thought they were going to have to go the length of the field. Now they have the ball at their 31-yard line and a handoff, and that's going to be, I believe, Byars. Byars swallowed up at the 30.
At Fairmont LaSalle game, Fairmont is up 10-3.
Alexander, I'm sorry, but you said what? I'm sorry.
Fairmont has beaten the LaSalle Lancers out of Cincinnati 10-3.
Low scoring game there.
Chaminade has beat Northwest 42-14 in the fourth quarter.
A lot of good games around the Miami Valley starting to wrap up.
Springboro and Elder 21-20. That game's getting tight.
Elder just beat this team, Pick Central, 17-7 last week. 5:43 to go. 2nd and 8 at the 29. Mantooth awaits the snap, sends a man in motion, fakes the handoff, keeps his eyes on the field.
Got a guy open with blockers in front too.
Connects to
but
Pickens.
He makes the open field tackle there.
What a tackle!
Oh, the referee even got knocked down.
The official
takes the
man,
they're hitting out there, referee.
The Warrior players go pick him up. Like, please don't throw that flag on us. Thank you very much. But
no, me and that referee go to the same barber. He doesn't have a lot of hair, by the way. I got some here, some over here, some over there.
3rd down now. You hear the gong in the background. 5 minutes
Big
remaining.
3rd down, 5 minutes and 4 seconds and counting.
All right, now here we go. This is a big opportunity here, not just for the offense at Pick Central, but a big opportunity for the Warriors.
Is it 4-down territory for Pick Central? Pickerington Central. Jeez, take your time, KB. Say the word.
Mantooth lines up under center, sends a man in motion. It's 3rd and 8 from the 29-yard line. Hands it off. Gets to about the 26,
I think it's 4-down
25.
territory. If they run it on 3rd and 8, they're going to go for it on 4th down.
Pick Central trails 9-10. The Warriors holding on for dear life to this 1-point lead.
Did I see a kicker come on the field?
I mean, we've seen.
Here's number 10 is the holder, the 6'2", 220 kid. And here's the kicker. It's going to be a 42-yard attempt.
So this is an interesting, not decision. I mean, if you have confidence in your kicker, go for it.
4 minutes to go in the game.
What's the number of the kicker from your angle? I cannot see from here. But they await the snap, Keith.
Number 99, 95.
The kick is up from far away, and it's no
good.
And the Wayne Warriors
95.
catch a break. 95 for Pickerington Central. The kicker misses the very – well, I thought that was an interesting decision to go for that field goal.
Yeah.
That was very far back.
He must have made a few in practice that the coach said that we can make it.
A 40-yard field goal. You said for 45.
Chris Johnson, he's only
Carson Goulet. You said 95, right? Yeah, Carson Goulet. The kicker for Pickerington Central.
Okay.
Yeah. Carson Goulet. Props for the cool name, though. Carson Goulet. Mr. Goulet. But Mr. Goulet cannot convert the kick. So it's 1st and 10 now for the Wayne Warriors. 4:05 remaining. A lot of incomplete passes have stopped the clock. I feel like a lot has happened in the last 2 minutes, Keith. And here we are, Tyrell Lewis and the offense for the Warriors back out on the field as the Warriors.
Well, this is a part of the game. I can hear my coaches when I was coaching high school. Hey, let's run the victory.
Yes, and right
let's
now.
move these chains. Eat clock.
Tyrell Lewis is important, yes, but the running back and Mr. Williams becomes even more important, and that's who, of course, numbers they call on the 1st and 10 from the 20. First play they call on the drive here is a handoff to Zachariah Williams there up the middle. Couple-yard gain. Keeps that clock moving. 3:57 to go, Keith. The band, the fans.
I'm into it. I'm loving it.
This is a great game for you, by the way.
It's a timeout on the field.
Timeout out on the field. We got to pay our bills, as you always like to say during your show, the Keith Byars Show, every Monday starting soon from noon to 1. All right, we'll step away for a few minutes. It's going to be 2nd and 9 for Tyrell Lewis and the Wayne Warrior offense with 3:57 to go and a 10-9 Warrior lead. We'll be right back.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of your Ohio State Buckeyes, Roosters is giving away 12 trips for 2 to this year's Buckeye Bowl game. Each trip comes complete with airfare, hotel, gift bag, and 2 tickets to the big game. One bowl prize winner will be chosen each week, along with other cool Roosters weekly prizes. So register every week at roosterswings.com. Roosters, a fun casual joint and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Official contest rules at roosterswings.com.
All right, here we go, Keith. The final 3:57 of the ballgame. The Wayne Warriors lead at 10-9. It's 2nd and 9. Tyrell Lewis and the Warriors have the ball at their own 21-yard line, and right now trying to eat some clock while also trying to put themselves in position to maybe give themselves a cushion here. Tyrell Lewis gets the snap, quickly steps into it.
Got to stay in bounds, stay in bounds, stay in bounds, stay in bounds.
Mukes caught it at the 29, was able to pick up an additional 4 yards. Tried to stay in bounds. And
well, the clock stops on the 1st down, but he stays in bounds. So once they get a change set, that time would pick back up again. So that was a good play.
3:48 to
There's
go.
Tick, 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 tick.
Really impressive.
You won't to score, but you don't want Pickerington Central on the field anymore.
So now you'll see Tyrell Lewis along
You milk
with
clock. You don't snap that ball until it's less than 5 seconds on the play clock.
12 seconds on the play clock right now. 3:30 to go. 1st and 10. Tyrell Williams lines up in the shot alongside Zachariah Williams.
3, 2, 1, snap.
Just
Here's
gets
the
it
handoff.
off. Fake handoff. Tyrell Lewis calls his own number.
Oh, man. He turns the corner. Stay in bounds. Stay in bounds.
Flag, by the way, is thrown. And
in the backfield.
Could be a holding penalty potentially here on Williams, but we'll see what happens. Looks like number 77 went down for the Warriors. Number 77 and Paxton Tengisdal. So they'll repeat the down. I couldn't hear what the initial penalty was.
There's a holding on
repeating the down.
receiver.
It's a hold. Okay.
Yeah, holding on receiver. Number 3.
What, 1st and 15 now coming up?
Yeah,
3rd.
maybe.
Yeah.
The first and about 18.
3:13 to go. And again, some personnel confusion for the Tigers. We saw that come back to haunt them earlier, and I think they're just trying to get it situated here. 1st and 17, 3:04 to go. Tyrell Lewis and the Warriors have the ball at their own 28-yard line. Zachariah Williams lining up on the left hip of Tyrell Lewis right there at the 28. Tyrell Lewis again sends Mukes in motion. Mukes pops up, rolls out to the outside, wide open, catches it at the 30. Cuts
Come back to the
in,
inside.
stays in bounds, and now again trying to avoid going out of bounds. And you could tell a very heads-up player, Keith.
That's a well-coached player also to do that.
About I'd say about an 8-yard gain right there, but a very nice play and a very nice route run by Mukes, who was wide open.
See, that Pickerington Central, that timeout they called on the opening
You're
drive
right,
of
you
the third
called it.
quarter is coming back to haunt them right now. They only got one timeout left. 2 minutes and 37, 2 minutes and 38 seconds on the play clock. Automatic first down.
Man. Talk about R.J. Mukes, Keith.
Oh.
He's been on the field since he was a freshman. He's their top returning receiver this year. He had 21 catches for 219 yards. Of course, he moved positions, of course, but he's a 3-star prospect, and he's committed to Ball State.
Ball State?
Committed
They're
to
going to
Ball
get a
State.
good one.
Yep.
They could have used him last night.
I saw that. A lot of good games last night, by the way. That Penn State-Purdue game. I'm curious who I'm going to go for. I was a Purdue fan last night.
I want a Purdue win.
Kind of weird.
But they snatched defeat out the jaws of victory.
James Franklin finally wins a big game, but it's Purdue. First down now, or 1st and 5. The ball at the 40. 2:03 remaining. So Mukes did a good job staying in bounds, and now the penalty right there. That
Yeah, the
clock
clock
continues
is
to
running.
tick. Yep. So
another first down and lock this game up.
all right, Lewis again. Tyrell Lewis awaits the snap, gets the snap, hands off to Williams. Williams bursts through. He gets to the 45, 46, 47-yard line. So a 7-yard
They can only
pickup.
stop the clock one more time after they reset these chains.
You talk about the timeouts, Keith. 1 timeout remaining for the Tigers, 3 timeouts remaining for the Wayne Warriors. Right now, everything is in favor of the Warriors as long as they don't do what they've done throughout the night. And at times, they've beat themselves. As long as they don't beat themselves in the final 147,
Yes.
they should eke out this 1-point win. Timeout on the field. Let's take a 30-second breather ourselves. We'll be right back.
If you need new roofing, siding, or gutters, skylights, or patio enclosures, if you're a homeowner or business and need someone you can trust, don't take a chance. Enhance with Lance. Lance Roofing and Siding in Fairborn has been satisfying customers since 1993 and hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Lance Roofing and Siding, 8460 Dayton Springfield Road in Fairborn. Call for a free estimate at 864-2722. That's 864-2722 or online at lanceroofing.com.
All right, welcome back. It's our ESPN Dayton High School football game of the week. The Wayne Warriors lead at 10-9 with 1:47 to go, and it's Warrior football, and they have marched to the midfield area right now. They have the ball at their 47. But right now, all they care about, Keith, is continuing to, of course, if they can find a way to score, they're going to score. But right now, their biggest goal is to continue to run time off of that clock. They have 3 timeouts, no timeouts remaining for the Tigers. The Warriors, this is their game.
They win the first. They get a first down. It's over.
Yeah, their game to win, their game to lose as well. We've seen them.
Oh, this is going to take a knee on out. Judge is going to just take a knee in there.
very anticlimactic finish here. I mean, very
Yes,
interesting.
I mean,
little
yeah.
victory formation coming right out of the bat.
They have 3 timeouts. They run it down to 1 second, call timeout, take a knee, run some more clock because they can't stop the clock anymore.
Interesting. But you're right, though. It's one of those that timeout, you called it the second that early timeout was called and the opening drive for Pinkerton Central. You said right away that is going to come back and haunt them, and sure enough, that is really what changed the approach. I mean, this is the victory formation with a minute 30 plus.
Don't snap the ball yet. Oh, they snapped it a little quick, but
nonetheless, and that's the second kneel down, of course, that's going to bring it the third down, under a minute to go.
I'm not sure if I want to punt this ball. Otherwise, they get a Hail Mary attempt.
Pinkerton Central.
Oh no, that time's up because they won't even have to run on 4th down.
So 36 seconds and the clock's continuing to tick. The band's now, start.
So after the 3rd down, it's all over. They don't have to snap it. Just line up and shake hands.
So Wayne beat Reynoldsburg last week 53-7.
Oh boy, he's trying to get a fumble.
And and I get it, it's frustrating and things a little chippy down there, but I understand what he's doing. Imagine if you're the hero and you come away with it, and that's going to do it. Your final score here tonight, Week 3 high school football action. It wasn't pretty, but a win's a win, and the Wayne Warriors improved to 2-1 on the season with a 10-9 1-point victory over the Pinkerton Central Tigers here at Heidkamp Stadium. The Wayne Warriors beat Reynoldsburg 53-7 in Week 2, and they follow it up with a 10-point performance in Week 3, and somehow came away with the win, Keith. Unbelievable performance.
Wow.
A very strange game, but Coach Mukes has to be pleased that this is finding a way to win against a good team. When you get to the playoffs, you're going to play ugly games in the playoffs because you're going to run into teams like this who are very, very good. And I thought this had a playoff type.
It could have went either way.
Yep.
10-9 ball game. I mean, both coaches are going to look in there. There's a lot can be learned from from both teams, and it is a fine line between winning and losing in high school football sometimes. In this game, these teams are equally matched, and it came down to who made the least amount of mistakes. Both teams made plays. It comes down to who makes the least amount of mistakes, and Wayne made a few less mistakes than Pickerington Central did.
So Wayne, they opened up the season with a 41-24 loss at Fairfield. They won 53-7 last week against Reynoldsburg, won 10-9 tonight over Pinkerton Central, the Tigers. And then Keith, they'll want to keep that momentum going. I'm assuming the final, there's a final score in the Springfield Trotwood game, but Wayne has Springfield next week. And then we'll have Wayne again here in 2 weeks right here at Heidkamp Stadium. It'll be their homecoming game. They have Miamisburg, Jackson McGowan and company. That's going to be a good one for us here. So
that's going to be a good game.
One more time, your final. We'll step away for a few moments. The Wayne Warriors 10, the Pickerington Central Tigers 9. We'll recap the ball game with final game stats, and then we'll call it a weekend. We'll be right back.
TrackPhone wants to know, are you an influencer, a big live streamer? No? And guess what? You don't need an endless data plan. Get just the right amount of data with TrackPhone's $40 unlimited talk and text smartphone plan. Now with 8 gigs of high-speed data and unlimited carryover on America's largest, most dependable network, now with 5G. Get the data you need at the price you want. TrackPhone Wireless. Now you're in control. Available at major retailers. 5G compatible device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. See terms and conditions at trackphone.com.
Expand your outdoor living space with concrete landscape.
Justin Kenner, Keith Byars back with you here on 1410 ESPN Radio. One more time, your final. The Wayne Warriors 10, the Pickerington Central Tigers 9. We've been doing this for about, 6 years, Keith? I don't think we've ever called a game this low scoring, 19 points combined between the two. But nonetheless, one more time on our way out. That's about what you expect with two good teams like this who will be playing in the postseason here. That's kind of what you expect, and this is what you would expect to see when we get into those late November playoff games.
Yeah, I mean, and you get to November, you look back on these tough games you had in August and September, and you have something to build on. These are building programs, building blocks to a successful season, and you got something to draw upon. Hey, guys, we've been in tough games before. Remember Pick Central? Remember that game? We can win. We can pull these games out. And once you start to build that confidence, it can happen once, it can happen twice, and you start to expect it. And the opposite can be true also. When you don't, you come up on the short end of adversity a lot of times, you kind of expect it. And then you got to get rid of that mindset. So now they got something to build on here. They lost first game of the season, and not the best way, somewhat of a blowout.
Yep.
And they came back and won 2 tough games in a row. And they're feeling good, which is the direction that the season is going. And, we'll be back in a few weeks. And I'm looking forward to see how much they would have improved between now and, this week.
Yeah, Tyrell Lewis, unbelievable, by the way. I'm very impressed with the sophomore quarterback. Thank you. By the way, I want to shout out the Wayne Warriors. When we come here, this is one of the best.
Support staff is awesome.
The press
athletic
box.
director.
I mean, they provide absolutely everything for you, and they make our job so much easier. I'm not saying other schools do a bad job. Some just do better than others, and Wayne is top-notch. I put them up there with one of the best in the area, so I appreciate all the work that they do. But as we go down the stats for the final time here tonight, Zachariah Williams, 18 carries, 91 yards. Didn't, get in the end zone, but, man, 91 yards, 91 hard yards. He had to earn all 91 of those yards because it wasn't easy for them to get, yards on the ground today.
No, I mean, Pick Central early in the first half, they blitzed a ton. And I thought we would see more of that in the second half, but, we didn't. But their defense, I think you described it well in the pregame, and your scouting report was right on their bend, but don't break. I mean, Wayne never got in the end zone. Offensively, they only had 1 field goal, and the field goal they needed it. They answered. Pickerington Central just took the lead. Momentum was on their side. And Wayne had started a drive, a 90-yard drive, that ended with the field goal to take the lead back. They were down 9-7. Good block point, field goal on special teams on extra point. And I always hear every point matters. And then the answer with a 90-yard drive, with the end that culminated in the field goal to take the lead right back. I think you could just see, the players on Wayne faces on the sideline.
Yeah.
They're like, ooh, we're not there. We got the lead back. And it was, you got to get a coach credit also. I think he did a great job coaching, especially in the second half of managing his team, moving the chains, clock management, guys staying in bounds instead of running out. And, you got to give him credit for that. We only had 1 turnover in the game.
Yep.
And that was really almost an excuse me turnover. It was 4th and long. And Pickerington threw the only turnover up, which ended up helping him. Because it was as good as a punt. But it was a good, clean game, good hard-fought game. Both coaches will go back and do a lot of film study and, evaluate their teams. And I think Pickerington Central, you haven't heard or seen the last of them. Everybody's still looking for an identity, who we are. You talk about it all season, who you want to be when you're setting your off-season goals. And now the season is here. And, we're going to see, we are. And not right now, Wayne is still a young team, but they're smart, well coached. And I think you're going to hear from them as the season continues to roll on.
Absolutely. Quick rundown, and we'll call it a night here. But Zachariah Williams, as I mentioned, 18 carries, 91 yards, Keith, for the Warriors to balance the run game tonight. Tyrell Lewis, unbelievable performance. Wasn't the sexiest in the box score, but I thought he played fantastic. I thought he handled adversity well. They turned the ball over. He comes right back out, the hurry up, leads the team down the field, puts him in scoring range. Tyrell Lewis, 16 of 28. It threw an interception, 212 yards, no touchdowns, but he did have a 47-yard bomb that set them up in scoring position. I thought he played well. Only a sophomore, obviously getting looked at by a lot of teams at the D1 level. They'll continue to get offers. I'm excited for his future as well. RJ Mukes, going to be playing at obviously Ball State, but 9 catches, 113 yards. He didn't get in the end zone, but, man, he found ways. When he got that ball in the open field, he was tough to bring down. 113 receiving yards, but also don't forget the 69-yard kickoff return for the touchdown, the only touchdown of the night for the Wayne Warriors. On the side of the Pickerington Central Tigers, Rasheem Byars had himself a game. Again, 11 carries, 54 yards, but Byars also had a catch for 59 yards and a touchdown. He was a well-balanced threat weapon for the offense of the Tigers tonight. Knowledge Gray, 10 carries, 50 yards. Terrence Alexander, 12 carries, 35 yards.
I thought they would get the ball to Knowledge Gray a few more times. He ran effective.
It's like they didn't have one guy that took over for him in the run game, but a very balanced attack between Byars, Gray, and Alexander. That as far as that goes. Braden Mantooth, the quarterback, 10 pass attempts, completing 4 of them. Threw an interception, 63 yards. But again, he had that passing touchdown to Rasheem Byars, who made him look really good in that play right there. But overall, hard-fought game. Fun game for you to debut the 2022 season, of course.
Yes, thank you.
We
Good
now
to be
turn
here.
our attention to next week as we have the Trotwood Rams, who are just reeling right now.
They're young, inexperienced, and they're trying to find themselves right now. They had a tough one, tonight against Springfield. That Springfield team was in the state championship game last year. And, they're coming back young and hungry, and they're experienced and hungry. I'm not young, experienced and hungry football team. So, Trotwood ran up in there against the buzzsaw against them tonight.
All right, one more time. Finals for Xenia, 47-0 over Fairborn tonight. Chaminade Julienne, 42-14 over the Northwest Knights. Beaver Creek, Keith. How about this? Back-to-back wins for the
Creek.
Beavers. 56. They took its opponents tonight, 56-17. Good for Beaver Creek. Back-to-back wins for a program that didn't have a win a year ago. Like to see them kind of get that confidence going a little bit. You real quick, the tennis update, by the way.
Serena is kicking behind right now. I had to watch myself.
So, yeah.
Wow.
She
just won the second set 7-6. She lost first set 7-5, and so we're going to a third set.
The career of Serena trying to prolong here tonight. Trotwood, by the way, shut out in the third quarter so far, 34-0 against Springfield. Centerville up 10-0 over Gahanna Lincoln in the third quarter. Alter, who we're going to see next week against the Trotwood Rams, as Trotwood looks for their first win of the season. They're up 31-0 over Meadowdale and the Lions in the third quarter. That's Miami East, I'm sorry. But Dayton Dunbar, they trail Lima Senior 19-12 in the third quarter. Continuing to go down the list, Stebbins.
Belmont Bisons.
Yes, you see that score, though. I think it's 46-0 at the half, if I'm not mistaken. Stebbins, 46-0 over West Carrollton. They've really struggled the first couple weeks of the season, and they're getting punched in the mouth in the first half, 46-0 at the half, unless that's, hasn't been finalized yet. 59-0. The Piqua Indians over the Troy Trojans. That's a final, by the way. Butler gets shut out by Tippecanoe. Northmont, 31-0 over Hilliard-Davidson. That's a big win for the Thunderbolts. We'll have them on the schedule later in the season. Elder, they come back, Keith, and they beat Springboro Panthers 21-20. This is an Elder team that just beat Pickerington Central last week 17-7. Miamisburg, they had a horrible offensive game last week. They have weapons all over the place, including Jackson McGowan, who's my favorite player in the Miami Valley. They respond after a tough loss last week, put 43 points up on the board in their win over Harrison tonight. Xenia, 47-0 over Fairborn. The Wayne Warriors, of course, we just had that game 10-9, the final over Pinkerton Central. Fairmont, they win. Keith, they improved to 3-0 on the season, a 10-3 win over LaSalle. And I think, going down the list, I think those are some of the bigger scores that, in the Miami Valley. But that wraps it up for us. We are out of time. We got a busy weekend tomorrow. The Buckeyes, Keith, your Buckeyes.
Ooh.
Going up against Notre Dame.
I'll be in the house.
You'll be in the house. You'll be at the shoe.
There. I'll be in the shoe. 100 years of the shoe.
Yes, and what a way to kick off the 100th year at the shoe with a blowout win over Fighting Irish.
How about it? I win first and then, blow them out second.
They got the luck of the Irish, but you got the, Buckeye in your pocket. I'd say that's pretty lucky too. So we'll see what happens tomorrow night. A big one. Kev Nash and I, we're going to be live out at Submarine House at 6 o'clock. We'll be live throughout the pregame. So come on out, Keith. I know you won't be there tomorrow night. You'll be with us for week 2 against Arkansas State out there.
I'll be there.
But for those of you listening, you can come out to Submarine House tomorrow night and register for you and a friend to win a free round of golf with Keith Byars and myself. Unfortunately, I do have to go. But fortunately, Keith Byars will be there. So come on out. We have gift cards. We're giving away T-shirts, Reds tickets. WWE is going to be in town next month. We got tickets for that. So we're pretty excited about tomorrow night, the watch party, the pregame show for Kev Nash and I will be going live throughout the pregame at Submarine House in Kettering. So we'll see you guys all tomorrow night. Pretty jacked about that. That's for sure. All right, folks, have a great night. We appreciate you tuning in. Week 3 high school football action, our ESPN Dayton High School football game of the week. The Wayne Warriors, 10, Pinkerton Central, 9. And we now turn our attention to week 4. Next week's game will be on a Thursday night as the Trotwood Rams welcome into Alter Knights. And that's when you'll hear Keith and I again together on the air once again for high school football action. Until next week, this has been our ESPN Dayton High School football game of the week on 1410 ESPN Radio. Shout out to Brandon Williams back in the studio for keeping it going. Have a great weekend.
everyday values are at only one place, Frickers. Monday, boneless frickin' chicken wings. Tuesday, traditional frickin' chicken wings. Wednesday is all about